false prophets and false teachers cannot enter. Oh, blessed are they that keep the commandment. No dumb persons cannot enter. No, 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 no racist and pagan-hearted people can enter. No killers and robbers, no thieves cannot enter. Neither no wolf in sheep clothing cannot enter. Ah, ah, ah.
Okay, so we are here, guys, in the morning time. You heard the background. We're behind time already, and we took a break a while ago. We were going all morning. The rest of man was here from early o'clock, and maybe I'm gonna have to teach rest of man the board too, really, to get things popping. You know, once he gets in the building, you know. And he's here for sure. He's here for sure, guys. And we're about now to get going here. I just love the morning, brother. Let me say, President, good morning to you. One time, my brother. Welcome to the program, my brother.
Good morning to you, Asha Barama. Thanks for having both of us in your station once again. God bless. Enough respect to you and enough respect to all the positive people on the planet. And it ain't no speaking loud respect for the evil, you know. I
Yes.
respect them in silence.
In silence.
You have to respect God's creation. You know.
Yeah.
They don't destroy flesh and blood. They destroy demons that live in flesh and blood.
Yes,
That's
sir.
my motto.
Yes,
So
sir.
just don't think about flesh and blood when it comes to me. Because I always tell people, right, a fool, right, gets angry. A wise man gets serious. So there's a difference, you know. And a fool jump to conclusion without knowing the story. A wise man gather the story and then before he do that. So I don't worry about these guys who just being ignorant. You know what I mean? You know no better. So
Well, sometimes you get it because of, as I said to you before, and you know, we spoke all the time. We spoke before prior, and it comes from, you know, sometimes jealousy, sometimes different vibes in their brain. People wish to be like some people too. Sometimes somebody, you are doing certain things, and they wish they'd be able to do as well. And no, I don't want to stopping them. You know, you're doing it, and you're not. You know, it's okay. So those things sometimes we have a black man heart and mind at times, because I'll tell you the truth. Wasi, on a regular, when it comes down to what we do here on these programs, I'll tell you the truth that there are some persons out there, really and truly, who Rasta in particular. I know for a fact, my brother, that Rasta man feel very much a part of and represented when you appear on the program every single time, right across Anguilla. The bona fide Rasta brethren in our country, Anguilla, they all feel represented. Okay.
enough respect to that.
And that also goes to Long Bay West End as well. People there who knows you know, and so you have those who will be happy, those who will embrace, and those who will just naturally want to. It's a natural part of life. This is life it is. It's just life it is. You know, it's life it is. Really, that's how life.
You know, brother Hammer.
Yeah. Even those guys who don't forget your thought. Even those guys who in America go from Long Bay West End, they don't miss a beat when you're on a Thursday here. The guys from Long Bay West End who live in England, in America, they're always locked in because you're from West End, Long Bay. You see? So that's a natural thing. You know,
True.
you're representing a lot of people once you show up, you know, and it happens for all of us. That's how it is, you know.
And you know, too, brother Hammer, I find it somewhere along the line where when you have people that's opposing you, it makes you stronger as long as you're in the positive. So what these guys are doing on the negative side, all they're doing is making me stronger in the positive. Because I ain't going to shift to please none of them.
You're not supposed to shift. You're supposed to do what you're doing.
Yeah, I ain't going to shift to please them.
This is your mission. This is your vibe. You're supposed to do what you're doing.
Of course.
You cannot be shifting because somebody say X, Y, Z.
That could have learned me to be stronger.
No, you must be you.
Yeah.
The reason why
be stronger every time.
They are locked in is because you're who you are. The reason why they are captivated. The reason why they have to listen to what you say, even though they may not like all your ideas sometimes. It's that you're making you have a conviction, you have a story. and you are very consistent with your story. So they have to hear you out. So while they're cussing, they have to hear you out still. Okay, and that's what makes it. That is the power of it, really, truly, and that's where it is right now. So if you were to change this to that, it would not be interesting. You have to just do you for sure. That's how it is. That's a good thing, and
Wow.
that's a great thing for sure. And only after a while I began to realize what this means, really, for the Anguilla people, because Rasta has always been represented in the nation over the years. After the brethren passed, those brothers, Rasta and I one day, it was a void really for Rasta. Rasta was always in somewhere in the middle of broadcast, somewhere in the top end of it.
True.
Okay?
True.
So there was a really gap in there. There was a need to have that type of voice around.
Phil, yeah.
Yeah. And the nation of Anguilla responded to that. I mean, Rasta was a household name across Anguilla and the diaspora. That gap was filled up on time, you see. It's important.
Somebody had to do it. Somebody was selected to do it.
And God did that too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do that. God did that too.
Yes.
I didn't thought of it. Only when I think back and began to analyze in my mind what is really mean and meant for a nation, recognize what it was. It really, God had done that.
Yeah.
It showed that element was within the society. You couldn't
Keep
lose
it
that
going,
element in our society. It had to be right here.
Keep it going.
Because we check Sir Martin too. Sir Martin also has been trained that for a long time too. My partners, Rastus and those guys in Sir Martin, they does some of the same thing. But they too, on a Thursday, those guys in Sir Martin, they're keyed in here to hear the rest of the issues. So very important.
Enough respect to you guys, man. Enough respect. Good day to everybody.
Yes, sir. Enough of that now. But take it away from here now. Your story today, and what's on your mind? What are the big stories that you're working on right now? Tell me.
But I want just this morning, right? A brother came by me, and complaining about. Which is he's right to complain about this water business.
Yeah.
He said to me, Wasi, I spend $600 a year, and I doesn't get half of that in water.
Yeah, I know.
He said also that there's some, rationing waters and stuff. Now, rationing to me, I wouldn't denounce rationing water, Brother Hammer, but it should have a timing. It should have a timing so everybody can still get it should have a timing that everybody can still get some. Not really, you got a whole week plus, and a man can't get a drop of water, you know what I mean? That's the problem. Now, if you're going to ration water, don't take a whole week for who didn't get last to get again, man, because that's too long. You need water at least every 2.5 days. At least 2.5 days, you need water. If there's a rationing something, at least 2.5 days.
You see, Long Bay Man again.
Lamping right now to young Wasi show. The only person in Lamping is
Steven. I tell you.
But anyway, man, enough respect, brother. You and all the other brothers around, just respect from home,
And there's a Long Bay Man,
Yeah, I am you guys' strength here on the Bronx, I'm your all strength, stick around, Enough respect, Nevan.
Yeah,
we grew up together.
Yeah, all of my Carlton, all of boys locking,
Yeah, man, those guys are my family, Yeah, man.
Carlton?
The whole of Western almost is my family.
Wow.
I born Western,
Ginger Gay with your people too?
Huh?
Ginger Gay with your family?
Maybe in a distance off.
Okay.
But Western Long Bay is more or less one people.
Okay.
Me.
Okay.
Yeah, more or less one people. I was born in West End.
Yeah?
In a little old boathouse.
West End?
Yeah. Yeah, and on the road to go, on the road to go Mondays Bay, because I don't call the names of them hotels and things.
Okay, down there.
Yeah, go Mondays Bay. Yeah, I went look for that building couple of years ago, man, but I was so deceived, because I wanted to go take a picture sitting on the remainders.
Yes.
And somebody pushed it up with a backhoe.
Wow.
And I was so
all
deceived.
that history, huh?
Yeah, man, I was so deceived,
The land sold? The land sold too?
I don't know if it's...
Okay.
If it reached to that,
Okay.
I was sad, man, that I didn't even get a picture of where Bill actually born, And those times, way back, 70 years ago almost, and we had a midwife in Western by the name of Agnes. Wonderful woman.
Okay.
She helped a lot of women in Western Long Bay to, with the babies and stuff. She was a great woman.
Yeah.
Very great woman. Yeah, she, I think she should be some kind of a family. I am too sure, but she may be some family to Cardigan.
Okay.
I don't know whether a great aunt or grand. I don't know. I'm not sure, but
a lot of connection.
yeah, some connection.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, so back to the water now. So back to the water. You're saying that the water, the issue of the questioning water is a terrible thing. That is not right. People are complaining for a long time about that. They say it's getting better. There are a lot of leaks out there. I heard that too from them. And there's a pipe in the pond sitting for a little while now as well to fix those issues. The issues of getting the work done. The paperwork is a problem still. I just saw the minister a while ago too. Say he's getting there. He said, but it's a battle to get things passed through procurement. He said to get it done. You know, his father was on recently making noise. Said that just go and dig up the ground. But because if you get us pushed back from shit, just go and start walking. But I don't know if that can.
But that has worked too, you know.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you something, right? When you reach to a point where you could feel the sense of people trying to keep you back where
you gotta push.
You gotta push.
You gotta push forward.
You gotta push forward.
Yeah. That happened to Max. That will happen to Max. But Max said, go start. You know to do, just start pushing.
You understand?
Bring some people to walk inside, digging up the place.
But you hire some companies. Not just one set of people. But every day that those pipes rest there, they're falling.
The quality.
It's falling.
Yeah,
because the sun takes out a lot of the plastic. Plastic is safe underground with water inside of it. It can last for a long time. If it's scheduled for it will last our kind of lifetime. But them other old cheap thing, they gonna last too long.
Yeah, the sun hot, that's hot, you know. Sun baking every day.
But these guys got good pipes, but they shouldn't be on top of the ground. They should be under the ground. But you run, if you bring 2 pipes, put them in the ground, cap them off.
Yeah.
You bring 2 more again, you put them in the ground, join to them, and you cap them off. You don't have to. All of those pipes could have been underground.
Yeah, but the issue apparently from what I listened to the guys saying here is that they had to take it to this procurement board, had to put something, a tender out, a request for tender for bids to come in and to get the jobs and taking a while to get that done. Well and truly, there's the whole process have to go through there. I mean, see, and you know, there was a time there was a noise about Lansing-Bowl. You recall that noise about Lansing-Bowl? When they see the minister and just push it along without going to them. Well, maybe that sometimes is required to get things done.
I've seen it to be kind of rough.
Yeah, but
it makes sense.
It
makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if that didn't happen, that carnival was that year carnival would have been
from this committee, that committee, that meet here and take weeks and months to get it done. No, man, I gotta keep.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta push things with you. You see, like Brother Curtis, people was angry with him. I might have been a little shaky with him too.
Yeah.
But when you look at the picture good,
by what?
He did a good thing.
By the cost, even the British government said the British government told Victor to fire him here.
Put your bulldozer on the ground.
The guy destroyed the infrastructure of Angola here. He knocked down schools. He knocked down port buildings. He pushed down health facility buildings.
Yeah. He was setting a standard for better.
The governor was mad.
He was setting a standard for better.
So I can't
I would never disagree with that, Brother Hammer.
What body was it?
It was for better.
We were here.
People, you know.
He said, I'm going to go, man. I called him in the yard. I said, we're going out. Let's go. We got the street up by the clinic. The man put a big red X on the bill. I said, what is going on?
That coming down.
Demolition.
Yeah.
Gone to school. I said, wow. Yeah,
man.
East End. Big X's there.
Yeah, man.
All these cars coming down on Monday.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was true. We were at Blaine Point, brother. Blaine Point. The poor building got damaged too. He had Mark ship one time too. A big orange X on she one time too. So I said, well, she going on too.
And the British wanted banks to fire him.
Yeah.
See how much good the British want for him.
Yeah. Fire him, but they were angry. They were angry bad with him. They said fire.
They should have congratulated him for making that move because that one really got things. That move there is what got us looking different. You know?
Yeah.
That move is what got us looking different. So,
but I saw he did. I was trying to get him to put X on Lansing-Bowl too. I said, why are they going to give Lansing-Bowl put X on she too? She mashed up, she destroyed.
That was there.
Yeah. But somehow we didn't get to Lansing-Bowl. But that day I was trying to get Lansing-Bowl on that list too to push it on because I say he pushed on everything. So and brought the British government they came down on Victor Banks heavy to fire him. Said the minister was crazy. He destroyed the whole infrastructure.
He wasn't crazy. He was just setting a stage for better.
Yeah.
He wasn't crazy.
It was Victor Banks who saved Mr. Love after that.
Well, that was good too.
Yeah, he had to talk to save him.
I would have been on the street demonstrating if they had locked him up.
Yeah.
Of course. I'd have make my voice loud if they had locked up Curtis Love.
They had intent to fix back the old buildings, you know.
Instead
of pushing down one time. Yeah, so by the time they get around to it, everything flattened.
Good.
They pushed down. So they were angry. They were fuming. They were fuming about what he would have done there with those buildings.
Waiting for them, they would have been too late for us. They happened in the right time.
Yeah.
You understand where I come from? No, that movement, they're happening in the right time. 6
So,
months later, it would have been affecting us more.
So I'm not saying what you're saying though, because had he waited for planning permission to push it down, That means 6 months to a year.
Of course.
Yeah, they push them down and
Of course, and we're what about our air traffic and our sea traffic? Would it be hampered?
Yeah. Oh, they had proposed a tent. That's where the term man F the tent came from. They had proposed on a big tent here
Imagine
there,
that.
and that's when he said man F the tent.
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
I mean,
that
that
came
was
from there.
embarrassing, you know,
Yeah,
to
big
see
time.
people come into it. Well, better than just come and duck and walk up to I can't get and I can't go.
Yeah.
But under a tent.
Yeah, they had a tent for you, air
Oh,
conditioned
yeah,
tent.
look at my necktie.
Yeah, air conditioned tent they had for you to come in to take care of that.
That's bull, man.
So at the time, Curtis had made that popular statement, man, he said F the tent. Yeah, he said. So that had been viral, you know, when he
Because
said
he
that.
was embarrassed.
Yeah.
They embarrassed the man.
Yeah,
According to his respect for his country and his people and bless, you know, whatever.
Oh, yeah, man, that
But
was
to see
terrible.
that-
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, them piss him off.
Yeah, man, it was terrible.
Piss him off.
So your water issue now is like that too. But he said that he's gonna get to water. He's close to it now. I don't know, but it took almost 6 months, almost a year to get that water thing under control. I mean, all that's going on. So now they're about to do some stuff, as he said, and they are gonna award some contracts now to contractors to dig up the east and somewhere else. I think that the east summit, he started the east summit on the eastern side and the down Jeremiah side.
Okay.
That's what I was told by the minister. So we can see how it goes. But people can't wait. They need water for sure.
I mean, you need water.
They can't wait. They need water.
Tell the truth, right? You can survive a little longer with water without food. You know?
Yeah, man, you need water, man.
But if you got food and no water, you're going
Yeah.
to drop still.
Yeah.
Dehydrated and stuff, you're dead.
Yeah, I need that stuff for sure.
You need water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that need some shuffling, man. That don't need to be waiting. Just get some companies in and say, you gonna walk here, you walk there, you walk there, you walk there. And the next thing, what I would love to advise them to do, when you put, because these pipes going exactly where the pipes been before. Do not dig up the old pipes, but it wastes time, it wastes money, and it wastes space that you can actually gain distance.
Yes.
You don't do them things, because when you can pull up pipes on the ground, I mean, it ain't like pulling up one length of pipe. It is hundreds of lengths
By everywhere.
together, joining together.
So what do you just scrape out the top and just put it
Just scrape out the top. You turn your bucket for the back off,
Yeah.
flat, don't leave the teeth hook it up. And you just bring it flat so you can see the pipe all the way. And you put maybe like 3 inches of crusher ways, because you might not want to rest the pipe on the pipe itself.
No.
Because the pipes before now, they have a male and female end. So the male end gonna have like a little lump. So you don't want to rest your pipe direct on there.
Crack it.
Right. So you put at least 3 inches of crusher ways and maybe 3 inches of sand, and you put your new pipes in.
That easier, yeah.
They don't want me around them kind of thing.
Why? But what's your answer, man? Right, you're right.
Right,
It's
yeah.
to save time too.
I save time, but man, I do that kind of work already. I make sure they didn't dig up the pipes, otherwise I'll be there for weeks longer working.
Minister Hard, you're hearing this one, so that's a good. Just leave the pipe there in the ground, leave them there.
Even there.
Yeah.
Even there. And you dig when you just stick out right into them. You don't put your teeth down, what? You put your teeth facing you, so the flat part of the bucket will rest on the pipe, and you just keep pulling it to you.
I'm sure this man, they're not going to move the whole pipe now. This new
That's
reservation
bull. That's
and
bull.
go from down
That's
up
bull.
again
That's
and move all
wasting
the
money,
material too.
wasting time, and I mean, you must be wasting time. Because from the time you start to pull it up, you got to continue pulling it up.
Yeah.
Because now while you're pulling, you're ripping up. So there's no way where you could say if you can stop here. You have to rip up everything. The amount of time that
Makes sense, yeah.
then you gotta junk it up and put it in truck something and carry it to wherever. You don't do them kind of things. You do things to save money and save time and get more distance done. I do all the trenches in West, down the West from Lower South Lake, so you go right down all through Long Bay.
Oh yeah.
I put all them ducks down there. I put them there.
Wow. So I mean the ground is soft then, not too hard,
Those areas will be soft.
just soft.
Yeah.
Cause they were hammered before.
Yeah,
like,
clear, completely clear through.
So this should be easy exercise then. I mean, because
Yes,
most the entire country were piped some 25 years ago.
Yeah,
I
because these
recall
people,
about 20
you
years
don't have
ago.
no hammer unless it's a new place.
No, unless it's new spots. So just go and scraping out the dot of the top.
Just take it
yeah.
out, just clean the pipes and put your pipes in. But
Might be a good idea.
there's so much easy ways and good ways to do things, rather than just thinking about the dumbest ways to do things, spend a load of money,
That is so much
kill time,
Yeah.
and waste space.
Cause these man can go down the ground up, check out all that pressure waste, all the bed, they put it there, all
Yeah,
this stuff,
yeah.
all
All that
that
come up, they
pipe.
got-
You gotta take it,
yeah.
put it aside, and gotta put
And
on new stuff now,
right.
and lay a bed again and put on new pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and cover back down the.
And then have more stuff to be throwing in trucks to carry all over the place.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff.
Every truck, you know what I mean? Because once you intercept those pipes, then you gotta bring in trucks.
Yeah, man.
You got to bring in trucks.
So no doubt the tenders that are going, I've been told recently, is swallowed that too for already. So that are in the works. Oh man. Yeah, because I'm sure the work scope of work will be in there, will be in the tender document what ought to be done.
But if you move this, what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
it ain't nothing to take away going somewhere.
No.
Because the little 3 inches of crusher weight they can put under the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to put a little on the pipe too.
Yeah.
A lot of that side going back in the hole.
Makes sense.
A lot of that side going back in the hole.
You'll save money, you'll save time.
And what they should do to Brother Hammer, because when they first started to work with the company, they were cutting off like 16 inches of the road. And then every year, the government had to pay X amount of money to fix it back.
Yes.
Thousands of dollars a year, you know what I mean, to fix it back. When they started work, it changed our life, When they started work with the company, I tell the boss, man, I say, look, no, I ain't here cutting up no road, I say, I'm gonna save you guys some money. I cut 8 inches from the road, but I am 8 inches, from the road. Yeah.
8 from the road.
So the road didn't get damaged. Nothing happened. Not all. The road didn't get damaged.
Ain't at all. You save up.
Yeah, of course. Save the road and save that money too. That money could have gone somewhere else to do something else.
Yeah.
Which I guess they might have gone better somewhere else to do something else on somebody's pocket. You never know. And money, if you put it by yourself, you don't move up and hands touch it to moving. Oh yeah. Yeah, when hands touch that, I'm moving, brother.
Yeah, she's not
You know? Yeah.
Sugar fly for sure. Alright, so we got you guys. So then we are there with that one, and that's one of the areas. And before we get too far into it though, a youngster sang a song the other day, and the youngsters will hear your take on it though, because I had a call from some men of God, some pastors who said that we will find marijuana. But this guy is Straff's nephew. His mother taught me in school. She died with her soul, but he's a youngster, Courtney. And he said he got smoke his troubles away. He got smoke his troubles away.
I heard the song a few times, and I listened to a part of, you couldn't call it a debate then, because the youth was getting some phone calls and stuff like that. But we got some crazy people on this planet.
He got smoke his troubles away.
Very crazy. Very crazy.
But I told him that, that this is what it is now. The system has basically eased the pressure for marijuana. And it's now okay to have some grams around you to smoke publicly. So him doing a song that promotes that, I mean, nothing's wrong with that, because the country, society now accepts the fact that it is here. And I also would have told him that that when it comes down to rum and those things that are man-made, this is a plant made by God, a plant made by God. This is you cannot have that debate. Listen to what God put here for His people.
But these guys, something wrong with them. You understand where we're coming from? If a mango tree grew up in the yard, they can't wait for it to bear mangoes.
One mango.
They can't wait.
You
understand? God make the mango tree too. So if God,
I tell you,
God is the creator for all these things. No man on this planet who in a idiot, right, will denounce anything that God make.
No.
It doesn't matter what it is. That's why I always say I don't have no issue with flesh and blood, because that is God's property. That's why I could sit here and I could defend God without fear, without caring about how anybody will feel about it. Don't tell something about him. Do you know that the preacher and the Christian prefer rum than weed? Who make the rum?
Oh man.
Okay, but they prefer rum than weed.
Yeah.
Those people who prefer hire a man who drink rum than to hire a man who smoke a joint. Because I've seen it for decades. I've been seeing it. I watch it closely. They prefer a man who drink rum to give you the job. You understand? A man who smoke weed ain't getting no job. You smoke dope. You understand? Because it ain't dope for God, it's herbs. You understand? And the thing about it, Brother, that was a wrong before mankind, because it was a part of the plan.
Yeah.
That was a part of the plan, so it was a wrong. We as people, we met it. The first tree ever being sighted was in Israel. Well, in Israel, right? The first place they ever find that tree growing was on Solomon's grave. That was supposed to say something too, because the Bible spoke about Solomon being the wisest man on the earth. So if you're going to bury the wisest man on the earth here and come back sometime later and find a herb tree growing on it, then you know that tree is very special. Special. So all these people saying that they're Christians and they're preachers and by these people, something wrong with them people. Very wrong. They're fighting against God creation. But them drinking man what man make. Some of these Christians that drink rum, some of the preachers that drink rum.
You know that? Listen.
You understand where I'm coming
Back
from?
in the day.
So don't tell me you're a preacher drinking
Back
rum.
in the day, I recall going to
You understand?
homes, right? And we were youngsters drinking whiskey, right? And those pastors had the real top shelf whiskey, man.
Okay, good.
This shit was regal. It was a big whiskey, right? Those days, them man
Okay,
had
good.
top shelf here.
Good.
The pastors had in those days.
So you see, they run with man. They
Back
don't
in
run
the
with God.
90s, them man had shelves regal up at them top shelf.
They don't run with God. They run with man. They do everything to please man. When you're going to be going around doing things to please man, you got to be an idiot, because what about God being pleasing? What are we doing to God? When you're pleasing man, you're going to upset God.
Yes, aye.
You understand? Don't please man and upset God. This is why I tell you, Brother Hammer, I don't see God smiling these times, I don't see anything to make God smile. You understand? No, back to that song, right? I listened to the song a few times. What I would say personally about the song is I have to go in a manner of saying, if this young man don't drink alcohol, don't use nothing else but a straight joint, and he's singing like that, I support him. But if he's drinking alcohol and smoking other thing, I don't know, that's some mix-up moods, in my opinion.
But most young men will
see?
have a drink and smoke right now. That's the new style. Young guys who will smoke weed, they can smoke a lot, yes, but they can have a Guinness and they can have a shot.
No, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
Most young does.
You don't do that.
Most young men does that in these times. women
And
too.
that ain't supposed to be. If you're smoking, smoke. If you're drinking, drink. You cannot smoke weed and drink rum.
And now they have blend too. This blend is a problem.
You cannot do that neither.
The blend?
You cannot do that.
What blend does to you? I mean, youngsters hearing this right now, to us right now on the program, what blend does to you, to their bodies?
Blends, but I'm not blend. Blend is something that you just get addicted to after a time,
Nicotine thing?
and you can't get out of it.
Oh.
They just cure this blend with different things. They don't just, like back in the day, old people, them used to just grow the tree, pick the leaf and dry themselves and thing. But these people just put all kind of things,
Colors.
different things, smell and sticking and greasing thing looking. And tell you something, right? I've been saying it before. If God want anybody to use anything, to mix anything with weed, whatever it is, would have been going on the same tree. So you'd have one half of the tree, a ganja tree, one half, another half blend. Goes to show where these go together. We don't need nothing. All we need is a positive-minded person. Because weed ain't for no negative people, Weed ain't for everybody, Brother Hammer. Weed is for the positive. Weed is not for the negative. So I was saying, if that young man is in the positive, they're drinking rum and smoking all kind of different mignon thing, and all he doing just smoking little straight weed, I ain't got no problem with him. I support his song. You understand? But I don't know exactly what backing up the song. You know, where I'm coming from.
No, just troubles. They just smoke them away.
You see? Because I'll tell you something, but if I home and I got a little joint somewhere in the house roll, and I walk on my shells, sometimes I trying to figure out something. I just put on the shell, I go take 2 sucks on my gym, and they come back, everything back into normal, everything clear up.
Wow. So just take 2 talks on your joint.
Yeah, just 2.
And that creates a new way of thinking right away for you.
Right away for me.
Wow.
It put me to a different level. Put me to see what I didn't see just before. But I just use a lot of templates. Used to. I stopped using templates with the shells,
Yeah.
No, because see what happened, a template is a flat piece of paper, and the shells got curves and things. You know what it does, but I'm going to show you. When you smoke weed in a positive, it does work for you. But I just take up a shell now, just watch the shell, take a pencil and mark out whatever I want to mark out on the shell and cut it out.
Wow.
Just like that. I stopped using templates.
Okay.
I don't, maybe 1 or 2 according to the shell if it might work. And I'll be able to do it faster. But the shell who got these funny curves and things, I just take the shell, watch it, see what I can make out of it. And if I got a little thing like holding me down a little bit, like, you know, man, I wonder if I should mark it this way or mark it that way. I put a shell and I take 2 talks. When I come back, I go on full speed doing my work. It has enhanced whatever you're doing. That's why I say, if a man, reading for everybody, if a man is an idiot, he have to keep away from weed because he's going to become a better idiot. You understand where I'm coming from? Weed is for the wise. Weed is not for the fool to smoke. You understand where I'm coming from? If you're a fool, you shouldn't be smoking weed because you're going to become a bigger fool. Weed does not correct you when you become that kind of person. Whatever you're doing, yeah, you get better on that. If it's a fool, you get more foolish because it opens your mind into thinking more foolishness because you're foolish. But anybody that have a positive mind thinking and smoke weed, smoke straight weed, you can't go wrong. Some people say you shouldn't smoke. But who know who should smoke from who shouldn't smoke?
Yeah.
Whether you smoke or not, the same thing's killing you. You understand?
You're going in the house.
So, if you're a Christian out there listening or a preacher out there listening, keep out of God's face and stop disrespecting God's creation. And what you should be doing now, while I'm speaking, I should be getting together, calling each other on our phones and things, and I get some sledges and some hammers and some whatever I could find heavy, and I go through all the supermarkets where I go through, I'm gonna mash up all the rum and toss out all the cigarettes.
All the rum?
Yeah, mash up all of the rum. That's what I should be doing. I should be rebelling against rum because rum got up some of you children stupid too. You understand where I'm coming from? So you guys who say you're Christians and you preachers, get together and go mash up all the rum through and go mash it up. Mash it up, but stop talking about God creation in an ill manner. Because God, every day that God worked by him, at the end of the day, he said it was good. So where the bad is in God creation? Where's the bad? When every day he worked, at the end of the day, he said it was good. Every time he worked, it was good. So how come now that this specific tree, people have to be getting brutalized for it? And you know, there's only one set of people on this planet that represent God with this, you know, it's just Rasta, you know.
Rasta man.
And that's why we get so much of fight and thing. We are the only people on the planet that stand up strong for God's creation. We don't destroy God's creation. That's why, as I always say, I have no war with flesh and blood. But that demon that is dwelling within the flesh and blood, that's the feel like I'm bonfire on.
One time.
But nobody gonna see me nowhere pinching nobody. Nobody gonna see me nowhere sparring off to fight with nobody. You understand? Because that will make me a fool. You understand? So I don't want to be that kind of fool to be out there and strive with people. No physical contacts for me.
Okay, good.
Spiritual and mentally, we can work it out. But other than that, I leave him. I leave him.
So,
Believe it.
so you would always support marijuana as opposed to alcohol.
I have to support God's creation over any other creation. You understand where I'm coming from? So, but you see some of these Christians, some of them that drink rum, like I say, some of the preachers that drink rum. But Emma, do you know that some of the biggest OBA people in Angola are in the church?
You know.
You know? Good, I'm glad you know. So wow, so when a church is laid out, what you call that kind of church?
I know. Trust me.
Where you call that kind of church?
Church.
You understand where I'm coming from?
They go to church and they read the word of God. And
Yeah.
and
You see?
somebody read us too.
You understand where I'm coming from? Demons, Brother Hammer.
Demon.
Yeah, and there's something. And it'll be lying on God. It'll show you that it'll tell lies on God. You're going to tell me that God inspired you to be a preacher. And you're doing all that heap of bull, why the world should be still. If God select you to be a preacher, Brother Hammer, that is exactly where you're going to be. Because God select you to be that. Just like he select Jesus. Just how he give us Jesus. You understand? He give us Jesus. He give us other people too. He give us Bob Marley and a whole heap of them fellas. You understand? But we ignore Bob Marley. We ignore all other fellas too. But we never used to ignore but the crazy guy in Jamaica, why name again, was to sing all kind of stupidness?
Yeah.
Be Yellow Man.
Oh, Yellow Man? But no, Yellow Man. Yeah, Yellow still around though.
Be Yellow Man do a lot of damage to Jamaicans, you know.
That dancehall style. They dancehall
You
music.
hear what he says to be hot name and all kind of thing in his songs?
Yeah.
Yellow Man do a lot of damage to Jamaicans, you know.
Yeah, respected though in Jamaica.
Because anybody respect Yellow Man in that manner is a lunatic.
Yeah.
I respect Yellow Man, flesh and blood, but I can't respect what Yellow Man been doing to Jamaica and to the wall.
Boy, the man lucky to be alive. He has been through cancer scares. He lost part of his jaw. You know, I love
Yeah, he'll be alive. You know why he'll be alive? Because the system ain't got nothing with he. Them have it by Marley and other people who are singing, educating us, showing us what these people is all about, what they've done to us before, what they're doing to us now. You understand? But I'll tell you something, right? They killed Bob Marley. The mistake that they make in killing Bob Marley, Brother Hammer, is that they were too late to kill him.
Yeah.
Because everything was done
The
exposed.
body of work was out there already. Done something.
Done exposed. So when them kill him, then we too late. So that's, if I had listening, I make a mistake there. I should have killed him long before. So he done take the message across, he done educate us and everything like that. And then you kill him, you're late.
Kill it, right?
Then kill him here.
Yeah, he went through.
You
His
understand?
word went too fast.
You understand?
Yeah.
And wherever there's a Rasta man on this planet that do this kind of work, then watching him too.
Yeah, man.
You think I could go roam tomorrow?
No, man.
To got places on this planet I can't go
No, man.
because of my talk.
They have a different message.
Okay then. You know,
It doesn't conform to the global order. You know what I'm saying?
you understand where I'm coming
It's a
from?
different story, a narrative you're pushing over there.
Okay.
Yeah, they have to quiet you down.
Good.
Silence you.
So, but I ain't afraid. But I know that easy to happen, but I ain't afraid for it to happen. You know, I am on a mission, and no squall, no storm, no hurricane will shift me off of my mission, my brethren. No, it can't. Don't try it with sweet talk.
Special mission.
Don't try it with sour talk. Don't try it with no kind of talk because you're going to get through with it.
Yeah, get a walk, yeah.
No, Brother Hammer. It is my motto to stand firm. You understand? And don't give in to nothing that is evil. You understand? I ain't giving in to nothing that is evil. Anytime I give in to something that is evil, you know what I do to my Father God?
Compromise him.
I just compromise his
Yeah,
truth.
you can't do that.
I cannot do that.
Don't do that.
I ain't doing that, my brethren.
God,
You
yeah.
understand? No. What these Christians need to understand and be listening to them, you know, the preachers, they'll be listening to them, right? No, much of us might not know this. I don't know how much of us know it, if any of us know it, right? But we was given this calendar 2026 years ago. 25 years after the calendar, Brother Hammer, they gave us a church. So the state, that was the state, you know, the state make a church. So that's a church in the state. You know, when I really sit back and went deep into thinking, you know, I said something, that was the reason why God gave us Jesus, you know. That was the reason why God gave us Jesus. You know, just after the church was put together, it wasn't long before God gave us Jesus. Might have been the church, they put the church together 25 years after the calendar, and 2.5 to 3 years later, God gave us Jesus.
For a reason.
Yeah. And then the preacher gonna say that Jesus came where? Jesus ain't came nowhere. Jesus was given to us by the Almighty. He was given to us in flesh and in blood. He was given to us.
Our gift.
You understand? He was our gift from God. What we do with him? The same church, the same calendar
Romans
killed Brother Jesus.
Yeah.
The Christian don't see him as Brother Jesus, you know. The Christians look at him as the creator. You understand where I'm coming from? And if Jesus gonna come, just what? 2,000 years ago, maybe just a little less than that. You understand? If I come from 1,900 and something years, maybe. You understand? That's when Jesus show up. What was going on before?
Yep.
The
He was
church,
there before.
huh?
He was there long before that.
God was around long before that.
Long before.
Good. So who's the creator and who's Jesus? Jesus is our brother. Just like God created us, he did the same thing with Jesus. You understand where I'm coming from? He gave us baby Jesus.
Son, yeah.
You understand? And he didn't last long, you know.
No, short time.
They killed him and he was sort of something.
Yeah.
A young jelly Bob Marley, another Bob Marley.
And the way they killed him for? He said he was blaspheming. Say he was the king of the Jews. Yeah, all those.
How you gonna be blaspheming? How you gonna do that? When God sent him on a mission that don't have nothing to do with that.
The high priest and the scribes, those guys questioned him a couple of times well about these things. What were happening?
Yeah.
He put questions, they're trying, you know, and in the end they said that his guy was a threat too, you know. He was performing miracles, people were walking, people were being healed too.
Yes.
Yeah,
And you know who he was a threat to?
The
The
established
same
order.
church
The big boys.
and
the,
the same state.
the Romans.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Who got drunk in the Red Sea? Whose soldiers got drunk in the Red Sea?
Romans
And who they was chasing?
Yeah, I know. God's people.
What happened to these Christians and these preachers? But there's something wrong with them.
God's children.
Them better smoke some weed themselves. Because them drinking rum and them acting stupid.
Yeah, God's children.
I look at my necktie. It's on whatever God put there, respect it. If you don't like it, keep away from it. Respect it. Don't call it by no names. You understand? Don't give it no funny names because it's going to pacify your dumb feelings to give it funny names. Do not get in God's way unless you're getting in his way in a positive. Don't play with God. Keep away from him. You understand? If you ain't going to God in a positive, keep away from my Father God. Keep away from him because it ain't good for you. The result's going to be bad for you. Stay with the devil because that's your place. You ignore God. God, you vex with God now because why? If you vex with weed, I mean you vex with the Creator. If you denounce weed, you denounce the Creator. You ain't denouncing rum and cigarette and them thing. So how you could be of the Creator, anything to do with the Creator? They use of the devil. But I'm another thing again, I'm listening, or I'll be listening good, you know. But I might know something. I got to get us to know to these fellows who sit in big in governments and things. I want to, and even the ordinary man who's stupid too. You know, tell with them stupid too. But I'm any man that you, man, woman, child, whatever, saying that these islands around here, British overseas territories,
Yeah.
those people, trust me, those people over the world is again colonized.
Yeah.
Every one of them is colonized. Because I tell you something, Anguilla belongs to England. Montserrat belongs to England. Ain't nobody going to say that these overseas territories are idiot. You know why?
But they control them.
Eh?
They control them.
Yeah, but you will always hear me say what I got to say, whether them controlling or not. I have to stick to my point. These people going and wrapping up in them. England invaded Anguilla 3 times, you know. England don't have a spite for all of them places. You know. England got a spite for Anguilla because of the revolution. And this is what we need to understand. England ain't no friend to Angola. Your friend gonna invade you with hundreds of soldiers, guns, planes, helicopters, battleship. Your friend gonna invade you. But I know if you got a friend out there, he gonna invade you.
No. He's also.
Yeah? And they wanted to sacrifice 7 young people. Listen to this, you know. When they send the soldiers here, they told the soldiers to give them orders to allow 7 of them to be killed by Anguillians and then declare war on Anguillians. But God had always been with the revolution. You understand? He was with the revolution. He was with the revolution. That's why it worked out like that. You understand where you're coming from? No, of course, God was with us. I sense it, I feel it, I see it in what was going on because we could have gotten killed, some of us. You understand? We could have gotten killed, some of us could have gotten killed. Our story will never be told. Because we were supposed to share our story and make sure that our story was out there beaten, run the country for most of the time. You understand where I'm coming from? They run Angola for most of the time. The enemies of the revolution. So what can happen to you if you is a part of a revolution, next thing you got a government who against the revolution, they think do good for you. They're gonna do good for you. About we have British territories, overseas territories. By that's bull. You colonize. If you gotta think like that, you colonize. And after, if you're in high places, you colonize, you're finished. Cause what could you do for people like us? Not a darn thing according to the old people. You can't do nothing because you're colonized.
Yes.
You understand? We've been programmed to be foolish. I said already, and I can say it again. We as black people, we were programmed to be foolish. We were programmed to kill each other, to fight against each other, to hate, to see each other with things. That's the way we was programmed by the demons of this earth. And black and white demons. No, another thing, but I'm because time that we run out fast. Another thing. I've been listening to the radio some month or 2 ago, and I hear some guys, they was, you know, talking. One of the guys say that the white man is a devil, and God hate the white man.
I know.
If God hate the white man, why you make him for?
He hit God and the white man.
And how much God will love the black demon because we got black demons and we got white demons. So then when you're going to tell me that God hate the white man, tell me what book you reading out from. God, how could God could create you and then say he hate you? God will be, he will be angry with you
Yes.
according to your behavior towards him. You understand where I'm coming from? He'll be angry with you according to the behavior towards him. Of course he'll be angry with you. Maybe you'll be lucky if you don't punish you right away. You understand? Because don't play with God. God mill is grinding very slow. And his mill ain't grinding, it ain't grinding straw into gold, you know.
Yes.
God mill is growing up all the ignorance into something that is good. He growing up all the negative stuff and turning it into good. That's what he doing. So keep on doing your negative thing and think that God ain't watching and checking and doing his thing. That mill is growing in very slow, like I say. But it don't stop. You understand? So keep up with your dumb behavior. Keep disrespecting God. Keep disrespecting his creation. And then tell me he's a Christian. You tell me he's a preacher. No. And tell you something. This ain't nothing for me to boast about, but you need to hear it. Rasta man is the original. We are the only group of people on this planet that get so much of fight on Brother Hammer. Brother Hammer, this ain't no joke, you know.
I know.
All over this planet, Rasta man get fight on. They killed Brother Jesus. He was a Rasta too, you know. The Christian, you want to hear that. But Brother Jesus was a Rasta too. Of course.
Nazarene man.
Of course.
Long hair.
Of course, he was a Rasta. And if he anyway where he is right now, he's still a Rasta. You understand where I'm coming from? So that same Rome is what is try Rasta with them calendar and them church. And then
Romans did it.
yeah, so them about this. It was just in a little small area some amount of years ago, you know. But now it's all over the world, like icing on a cake. It's all on the bottom now. You ever see icing on the bottom of a cake?
No, at the top.
Good. Well, that kind of thing is even on the bottom of the cake now. You understand? So we need to check these things. Is that little Rome that was just a little patch hundreds of years ago, right? Thousands of years ago. No, Rome is a whole planet.
But how, I mean, what's it though? I mean, I'm happy you're here because I intend to have this talk tour with Rash, Tuesday and St. Martin as well, Jabesh. How could Rome though, for a small place, I mean, in Italy, I hear it in Italy, I hear it.
A little spot. A little spot up in the Mediterranean Sea.
The whole, I mean, from right there, she have control over lots of things.
But
when the Pope speaks, he speaks, I mean, with authority. I mean, even Trump, who thinks he's a little eccentric at times, he try to fire a little here and there, but he too have to respect the Pope. They have to bow to the Pope.
Brother Hammer.
The Russian guys who are so crazy right now. I mean, the whole world, the Middle East people who are there, they all revere and worship the Pope big time. They control lots of things around the
Brother
world.
Hammer, the only man I ever will bow to is God Almighty.
No, but they're very powerful. You must admit that.
Them are powerful, but them is demons, Brother Hammer. You could be powerful as much as you can want, as much as you might want to be. As long as you're a demon, you're a demon. Now, this new Pope, right? I sit and listen to him, and he's very conscious in certain things, you know.
I see he's a Rasta man too, far, you know. I see maybe he might be a little Rasta man too.
He got a touch, I believe, too, but he ain't got a full touch because he's still. He didn't go there and say, you know what, I'm going to abolish all these papers and things that the old fella leave behind, and I'm going to make a new something. So even though he sung so positive, he still got a weakness because he have to work with what he meet there. He can't abolish what he meet there. You understand where I come from? So the question here is why he still wanted to be a pope. Why should he want to be a pope? You shouldn't want to be a pope. You understand where I'm coming from? Because you're going out to take up the same documents that a fella before leave behind, and you're reading from them. You got your own knowledge differently. Where you could. He talk a lot of good things, but trust me. He talk a lot of good things. But he's still the Pope. He's still running with a bad system. He's still running with a bad system.
Yeah. Bro, I mean, we're wrapping it up wide, so you're closing your lines. Something we should touch because I'm sure you have other things to use to touch on today that's on your mind as well. Before we go, we have our next guest already waiting on us now. We're hearing. So, next,
but I want to touch on this thing about women being leaders.
Oh,
Brother Emma.
Brother Portia raised that point.
From the time I was a little boy,
Yeah.
you know what I heard my mother saying?
Say what?
And that's almost 70 years ago.
Oh.
A little youth, don't understand not much at the time yet. My mother used to always say, women are to be silent in church. If the preacher says something that you don't understand, you ask your husband when you go home.
What?
And from coming down from the Almighty now, Jah Almighty, same channel.
Yeah.
No woman on this planet supposed to be a leader of a country.
What? Based on the Bible.
Based
Brother Portia said Corinthians, something happened in it.
Based on God.
Yeah. Teachings.
Teachings. No woman supposed to be running a country, no way on this planet. And another thing, it's so simple to understand. To bring a question, why, no, this is integrating women, I love women. Why Jesus didn't select at least one woman as a part of the 12 disciples? That question, that's a serious question. When I told, years ago, a lady, she was preaching, and she came by me talking with me. When I said to her, do you know that women are to be silent in church? You know what the woman tell me?
Yeah, man.
Things change.
Things change, yeah. Things change. Yeah. Things change.
She said to me, things change.
Yeah.
So you kick God behind, not even on the back burner, they throw God behind the stove and put the devil on the 4 burners that running. You don't do God them things.
So
you
women should have
chastise.
you're saying. Women with all the education, with all the
It doesn't
understanding,
matter.
with all
It
the
doesn't matter.
maternal instincts. Should
Listen.
not lead, you're saying.
God didn't say he give mankind dominion. He said he give man dominion over all things. He didn't say woman. He didn't say mankind. If he had said mankind, I know definitely mean man and woman. He gave man dominion over all things. That's how simple it is, but it's hard for people that is foolish to understand.
But Roman believes that the Rome doesn't have a female pope, preachers in the Roman Catholic Church, not Anglicans for many
But they
years.
got a church who lead a whole heap of people in hell. Because every church on this planet, regardless of what name you see on the wall, they all is under Rome. They serve the same time that Rome give them, the same 5 days that I'm add to the calendar. Make in the moon calendar. Those are the days that we just walk on. We don't walk on God time. He gave man dominion. He didn't give mankind dominion. So I respect women, but I wouldn't respect a woman as a leader, to be a leader of any country, and I don't want to hear a woman nowhere in a church preaching. There were women in the days of God, Jesus' time, but they wasn't preachers, They had different missions. They wasn't preachers. They had roles to play, but it wasn't about preaching. Carrying a message is different to preaching, You understand where I'm coming from? And if 10 of them read the same scripture, you got 10 different, 10. But
should believe anything.
Yep.
God hand down
Right, even again.
after him that Jesus,
Yeah.
man to rule the world, man to be preachers in the church.
Even
No
again.
woman should be no preachers, no woman should be running no country.
Nevan again.
Man supposed
Oh yeah. Nevan. Okay. All right. So.
So, you see,
I tell you.
we going somewhere, right? We going somewhere, Brother Hammer.
Nevan got a story now too.
Good.
Good. Nevan no say. Okay.
Yeah, man. Facts, Brother Hammer.
So,
Facts.
But the world is not that way now. Right now, you have leaders across the world who are females right across the world.
Yeah, because them is demons. They should know them place. That's not a woman's place. To be preaching in a church or to be leader of a country nowhere on this planet. God didn't give mankind dominion. He gave man dominion.
Well, I'm sure your today your topic will generate a lot of discussion, and I'm sure that when you leave here, you'll get many calls too. Because last week when Portia said it this week earlier, many people called me, including some women groups who were not happy with the comments he made. So I believe that today you went further.
Tell him don't be.
went further.
Tell him don't be happy with God.
Okay. So
Because it's God who said. So tell him don't be happy with God. You understand? Go curse God now.
Okay. Well, I said peace, brother. One love.
Enough respect, Brother Hammer.
Take
Brother Hammer, I
care.
just love to spend some time here with you, Brother
I
Hammer.
tell you, brother.
And here's a nice place for me to be, you know.
I know.
Yeah, man, because you see when you're here,
Okay.
nobody cut and cross
No,
what
no,
you're
no,
saying,
no,
you
no,
know.
no.
You
It's
get the
just fine.
chances.
When you're on your program for sure. Yeah, for sure. I love, bro. Take care, man. All right, peace and love. So me for a minute? Okay, you want to say? Okay, all right. And we're here on the class of 92.9 here in the morning, in the afternoon time. Now, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks to all my listeners. Thanks to all my people who love and support me. I love you guys so much. My heart is always warm for you people. Enough respect. Have a good day the rest of it.
All right, so folks, you heard the watch today, man. So that's our program. We into our program today. Give me a minute and we're here. And in a bit, Cardigan Connor, Minister of Health, Tourism and Sports will be our guest next. Hold the spot that you've got. Hold the spot.
We welcome you to the greatest summer experience, carnival and boat racing, July 10th to August 9th. Let's go! Get ready for the summer, and we'll laugh for the summer. Get ready for the summer, and we'll laugh for the summer. Juve, boat racing, beach party, Kamsomona, Sokamona. Band clash, eyes wide shut, poker run, parade of troops, pageantry in Gallo, August, Thursday and much more. Let's go! And we'll laugh for the summer.
Clearview Professional Services. Summer heat brings algae, moss, mold, mildew, grime, and debris buildup in your cistern. Clearview gives your home a fast, eco-friendly deep clean that makes everything look fresh again. We handle algae and moss removal, mold and mildew treatment, roof and exterior pressure washing, cistern cleaning, removal of debris, and improve your water quality, interior and exterior sanitizing. Book your summer clean now at 264-235-2130. That number once again, 235-2130.
Okay, so folks, we're here in the morning time. We're here in the morning still, and just about 3 minutes before 12. That's our time, and we're going to continue now with our Thursday program. For this Thursday, it is June 25th in the year 2026. I've just been joined by Minister of Tourism, Sports, and Health, Sports, and Tourism, Mr. Cardigan Connor, Minister Cardigan Connor, and he's our guest next on the program that we reach across and Sir President. Good morning to you, sir. Welcome to the program.
Good morning to you, Hammer, and it's always a pleasure to share with you and your listeners.
You know, and let me extend my deepest sympathies because I learned just the other day when we spoke, I did not know that your mom had passed and in the UK, and I know mom's always special to us, very special to us, bro, and let me extend our deepest sympathies to you on the passing of mom, really, you know, and I wish you all the best, bro, for sure.
Yeah, thank you for that, Hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, mothers are very special people, and mine is no different.
Yeah.
You know, from a young age, mom left to go to England. I was only one when she left. I didn't see her until I was 15. But what I would say is that growing up in West End, I was very proud of my mom because I was often told that she was very bright. She passed her entrance exam to go to high school.
Yes.
And then there were not many from the community that were afforded that opportunity. And I would write to her with those blue email letters.
Yes.
So my grandmother used to write in the first couple of pages. I used to write on the back.
Okay.
But of course, I would always read what my grandmother would say. And quite often my grandmother would say, I don't know what you can do with this child of yours.
Yeah.
But I said to my grandmother, but I call her now, I say, but now I've been a good boy.
Yes.
You know, but again, I think those were the standard. But what I do remember, my mom would always greet me with my dear loving son.
Okay, good.
And what I've learned over the years, Hammer, is that what you say to people is very important. And that has always been my mom till she she passed.
Yes.
One of the other things is sometimes what you say about somebody when not to their faces, but when they're not listening is just as important. Because I remember at age of 16, of course, leaving Angola, I was very keen on cricket. And I know my stepdad, who was my mom's husband, and was actually a very good father to me. I would say that for in all the 49 years that they were together. But one night I heard them downstairs. He thought I was wasting my time playing cricket. But my mom said, I know my Cardi. If he believes he can do it, he will do it. And that was not just about cricket. That was about life.
Okay.
So these are some of the things that I love about my mom and have lasting memories.
Yeah.
Sometimes I almost felt that she was overly proud, but a mother can never be overly proud of.
Right, man.
Yeah. But yeah, Hammer, thanks for that opportunity. I want to, she is very special, but I want to say a special thank you to. There's so many people. Belinda on the day when we have the meeting in East End, and I got the news, and Fritz and Willis, and those guys came outside and were there with me. My whole team, and the number of persons that have called me or sent messages, and there is something, because everybody's got a mom, and those who've lost a mom, they've told me that the pain doesn't go away. But Hammer, I don't mind, because it's a good pain, because it's a pain of love. So to everyone out there who've offered condolences, I thank you so much, because again, I've had my mom for 65 years.
Long time, bro.
Yeah, long time, but I might be greedy, but I could do another 65. But anyway,
special.
Yeah.
So that's how you got to England then, because
it was. I went to live with my mom not as a cricket, but I love the game of cricket. But again, the fact is that I wanted to come back and help other youngsters and give them opportunities. There are lots of opportunities out there in sports and in life in general. But I really wanted to come back home from the early 90s. In fact, from the time I made it on the scene at Hampshire or going to Australia, and I thought, what is so special about me? Because I knew there were players who were better than I was when I was going to school down here. But I was given an opportunity, and my calling in life is to give others an opportunity as well, whether it's in sports, whether it's with being in government. That is a responsibility I couldn't shy away from. I've never regretted one single day. And again, I'm grateful to team, to the people, to the Honorable Victor Banks, who embraced me from day one, from Neil Rogers, Cora, Curtis, Everly, the lot, Fritz Smith, and today the young team that we have. But ultimately, it's the people that put us there. And again, I want to thank them. I thank God for the opportunity He's given me to help to represent my people.
Okay, and a bit more, because I know the family very well over the years, because my mother is for years Henderson, Long Bay, West End for years. My sister and daughter. They all grouped. We are around there from children. So the lady below the house, Dorothy, was what?
My aunt, daughter was the first mother I knew. My grandmother. Okay. I mean, again, at the age of 1, you don't know what your mother looked like when she was gone. But the daughter was a special mother to me.
So daughter was your mother's sister?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm thinking my mom was a young mother, but daughter was 2 years younger. Okay. So I was her first child that she didn't have. Okay. But again, very special to me.
Okay, good. All right, now I know. Okay, good. So, brother, I'm Minister of Health, Tourism, and Sports, and I want to begin though with the big news that came out yesterday from the Stats Department. The best May month in 34 plus years, a record-breaking month again. We've been having some record-breaking season months for the last couple of months here, and the other helm. Your reaction to all of this success? We had a great run with Bermuda AM this past season, record numbers, one of our best seasons on record. Your reaction to all of this good news?
Very grateful, Hammer. Very grateful. Again, of course, when you're in whatever position you're in, if you're succeeding, you're expected to do so. And the key about that is that if you don't, people criticize. So the thought of us being in government and being able to, and in fact, every month, Hammer, from January, February, March, April, May, in fact, to this point, June, we're in June now, about 144,305 visitors to the island to compare to 229,000 last year for the whole year. We are very grateful to all who helped to make that possible. And, of course, Jamil, who is the new director at the Tourist Board, the Tourist Board itself, the public, the general public, the private sector, again, who've helped to make all this possible, our agents overseas. So collectively, it is not just about me as the Minister of Tourism, but it's to everybody who plays a role. And the good thing is Hammer, is that future projections looks very positive. They look very positive, judging from the feedback that we've received from when we went to New York, as well as we were in Antigua with the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association. When you have a number of the agents that again putting forward exactly what is happening within the industry. And the projections, the hotels as well, they're saying that the figures are looking very good for next year, for next tourist season, and even for the month of June. June is expected to be higher than it's ever been as well. And again, we're hoping that July, and by the time we get to August, I think most of the people will be happy for a break.
What do you put us down to? I mean, because over the years we've been complaining of the slow seasons, the August, July, August, September, but we are seeing more and more every season. It seems to be getting shorter with the off seasons, and this is good for us, really. What do you put us all this down to? This uptick in numbers.
Well, I think if you go back from 2015, 2016, up to 2020, we were rated number one for 4 years running. 2019, 2020, numbers were looking very good. Of course, COVID hit, so of course you're going to have a bit of a hiccup there. But even over the last 3 years or so, the progression has been growing. And I think for us, a shot in the arm definitely was Bermuda Air. What it would have done, it would have opened the gateway to Boston, to parts of New York, out to Baltimore, because people often ask about Anguilla or be told about Anguilla. The first question is, where is it? And the second is, how do we get there? And again, with the fact that as we go forward into next year, with the idea of having flights coming out of Toronto as well, that is an avenue or a destination or a hub we really want to take advantage of. Also working in collaboration with some of the British Overseas Territories, TCI as well. Again, is something that's going to work well for us. What Trans Anguilla Airways has done, again, and the connectivity that we'll also have between Anguilla and St. Bart's, or even Nevis and some of the islands around, I think it sets us up for a very successful year ahead. I mean, of course, we're praying that we survive anything that comes our way in the form of a storm. Not just us, but we're hoping the Caribbean on a whole. But again, to further answer your question, I think for Anguilla, what we've done, we will continue to do, is not sit back on our laurels, but to go out there to the market and promote Anguilla and tell them exactly why Anguilla is the best place to visit in the Caribbean.
Some years ago, I recall speaking to the late Mary Walker. She was in here with Donna right at the time, and I spoke about the road shows and the significance of the road shows up to our promotions, really, of Anguilla and the islands, really. And I was told back then by her that it's critically important that we be out there, pounding the pavements, spreading the good news of our Anguilla, because that's how it's done across the tourism sector. Countries out there on the ground. She told me she saw Antigua out there, she saw Jamaica, which is a huge place out there.
Right.
And those people on the ground, they're pounding, and they're out there. There are full teams out there, even ministers out there, spreading the word of the country.
Sure, but again, that was one of the objectives of us as we come back into government, was to go to the people. Don't just sit back and assume that they will come to us. Sometimes, Sama, you hear people talking about you travel here, travel there. Half the time you go on certain travel maps of even the Caribbean, you don't see Anguilla. So it's important that we go out there and have a seat at the table and let people know what is special about Anguilla. There's some people who like to keep it a secret, but I think for us what is very important is to make sure that we carry the message that it is about our people. Ultimately, it is about our people, not just to keep it as a hidden gem for only a select few. It is about making sure that those who choose to come to Anguilla will make sure when they come they have a pretty good time being here.
All right. So so the new season starts in November. It is. We're now winding down this one right now, and Bermuda will be back. I'm sure they would have seen. They would have been. I'm sure they too are very happy with this past ending season here now, and what it did for them as well. The numbers were high numbers, over 7,000 plus we saw.
Right,
And,
right.
Yeah.
And also it works well for them
Yeah.
because they're looking for destinations where they want to travel or can travel. And again, because they're based mainly in Bermuda, and it is like opposite seasons, so that partnership works well. What is important, obviously, going forward, the more successful they become, the more they can broaden their horizon. And I think what is vitally important for Bermuda here as well is that they want to make sure that they're part of the Anguillan agenda before the extension of the runway takes place. Because I will tell you, as we go to routes in Brazil, you get whether it's Air Canada, whether it's Delta, JetBlue, that all of them, they want to know where you are with the extension. But of course, because again, they don't want to be told today that you can come tomorrow. They need to know a year in advance because they really would like to know what the progression looks like so that they can get out into the market themselves. And I think that is that relationship that we currently have right now with Bermuda.
Yeah. And the hotel sector too, Cardi, I'm sure that they are also part of the promotion of the country, because I mean we have 4 seasons here, and that must be a big driver really in our promotion as well, right?
It is, you know, again, you think about the quality that Anguilla possesses when you think of Belmont, Capchuluca, and what that means. A lot of the work that Aurora has put into the further enhancement of Anguilla as a destination. A great golf course, now it's a 27-hole golf course. It's opened the avenue to sports tourism as well. So that's another avenue where we can work. The water park. So again, they can obviously offer to families as well. And of course, Zemi Beach, who is now owned by DART, but they've within themselves have done a pretty good job. But what is also very important is not just the 4, or Maluhana, of course. Cannot forget Maluhana, who helped to set the standard from day one. But I think what is vitally important is that we can cater to those persons, to all sectors. We talk about the trade industry and the likes. It is important to make sure that we as Anguillians are part of that development and not just the employees, but make sure that the ownership, whether it's in the Great House and the likes. So again, it's important that we support them as much as we can.
In terms of training for Anguillans, and maybe because I know over the years I've had this discussion with foreign ministers and others and other governments over the years as well, the need to have more Anguillans really in the top tier of the industry, the higher jobs really. I'm sure that's a discussion that's being held all the time as well. Anguillans who perhaps might be in the mid-management, higher-end management, because we have some that are there, but we can have some more in there. Are we having those conversations?
I think we are. I think one of the challenges when you talk about management at the highest level, general managers, is that you got to prepare to travel. You got to be prepared to travel, and we'd like to think of. We've had a couple that has actually moved up the ranks from within Anguilla. Eustace Gishard have done a great job at Capchuluca. What is there, Kevin Carty, But again, what we know about general managers, very few of them actually stay around for over a decade plus. If you work for a corporation, they tend to move you around, and so. But what I think is important is that even from an educational standpoint, that we educate our youngsters early enough if they want to get into the tourism industry and want to aspire to be the leaders, to be the top dog, as they say, that you got to prepare to get out there to the outside world. The other thing, though, that I find slightly disappointing is that quite often it's believed that when our own people get to the very top, that it's some of our own that actually don't support them in the manner that they do. So that again is something that I don't quite understand. I don't quite understand it. So I think that is something for us. If we want our persons, our people, to be at the very top, they can't hover by being, they need the foundation, and the foundation is the people that keep them up.
Yes.
So again, the hotel and tourism industry, as we talk about, you know, doesn't matter how beautiful a property looks, but the fact is, without the people, the energy of the people, and the right attitude of the people,
Yes.
that, you know, it's not going to go too far.
That's for sure. And then over the years, Captain Luca is a prime example of that. Her success rate has been her staff, the people, the human resources around the place, the kitchen, from to housekeeping, the water sports department. That has held, you know, true for Captain Luca, big time.
There was something that was
Yeah.
very special about the Capture Luca, and
Yeah,
again, as
yeah.
I say, I do believe, though, I do believe, because I was there for a number of years, what I do believe is that there was degree of ownership.
Yeah.
I think the fact that
Staff was,
the staff, but also the property is the crown. It
Yeah.
belongs to the people of Angola,
that, yeah.
and I think that there was
that.
just something, but also it's a partnership too. A number of the guests that came to Cap Chuluca or to Angola and to Cap Chuluca, they come back year after year, and they generally had a special bond with the people that work there, with the staff. And so when you've got an environment like that, the chances are you're going to be very successful.
and we would have seen that. So, folks, so we expect also for June month to be another good month, and we're getting ready for Carnival, which is always a nice time of the year. We see increased visitors at that time of year, returning nationals, other people come into the country during that time. So we're running ahead right now in terms of the figures. We seem on track to surpass last year's figures we've seen so far.
Oh yes.
144 now, you said 144 it is now?
Yes,
Yeah.
right now, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so very,
Yeah.
very likely. I mean, unless there's a catastrophe, we will go past. The other thing too is, I think what will be interesting this season, maybe we go into July and August regarding the summer festival season.
Yes.
I do believe we're going to get even more people
Okay.
than we've done for a long time,
Yeah.
because a number of the excursionists or day trippers, they too have gone through the roof. You know that, and again, there is something that
Something is happening, though, right? I realize it. Because I was at Meads Bay the other day when we were down there
Yes.
the other day, and I recognized that on that time of the year, usually it's very quiet, but that day the beach was bustling. People were everywhere, and I noted that they were day trippers.
they are day trippers.
It was a lot of people the other day, and I heard since that even more was there the following days. So this year it seems to be up really.
And they're posting.
Yeah.
They're helping the
Okay, good.
tourist board. They're helping the industry of Angola. And again, when I say that, we still have a job to do. That when people come to our home, we make them welcome.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that is the key. And whether it's those who are on a day trip now, they will go back and recommend Angola to their friends.
Yes.
And no doubt they'll put it in their diary that if there's an island in the Caribbean they want to return to, would be Angola as well. And the guys down at Fun Zone in Meads Bay, they continue to do a great job. And Ricky, he's got his children who are running the business there. And again, when you got a beach like Meads Bay, the water, the color that it is, in that environment, it really helps. We've got a product that day trippers want, and those who choose to come and spend a week or a month, it's open to them as well.
Yeah, very open to them for sure. Okay, now Cardiff tourism, and of course West End, that's your area, Long Bay, Meads
Yes.
Bay. A couple of things are going on. The boats are doing great right now. I this morning I spoke about that. I was teasing Stephen the other day about that too. The boats are sailing, youngsters are now racing, and I told him that Belto and Stephen didn't even much races, but but the youngsters now, those guys are now winning races now. They're now coming in very consistent with the boats now. Wizard and the Lightning Piece, Henry and the youngster, what's his name? Forget Derek. They're
Derek,
doing
yeah,
the
and
thing
the
right
Wizard,
now in a
yeah.
big way, for sure. So, but I'm sure it's a good feel down there, a sense of pride really in Long Bay West End that these guys are doing that great right now.
Well, you know it, Hammer. You know it, because again, when we talk, I love talking about boat racing. I love talking about the legacy of the Lightning Piece. I mean, from 1959, it's the only boat that is still around. There've been a number of others who are champions. And by the way, I must give kudos to the UFO, who were very successful back in the 90s. And they helped to set the standard, but they've been struggling of late,
Yes.
but they haven't given up. They're usually the first to every race.
Yeah.
But in West End, you know, the days when the Light and Peace would be near the back, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
The whole community felt they were represented.
Yes.
The older ladies, the guys, and every family, every household would have had a member that would have been a
Light
crew
and
member
Peace.
at the Light and Peace.
Yes.
But the legacy goes back even before boat racing is
Yeah.
when the boats from the Cove, the Light and Peace would go off to St. Martin, Kedra Hughes.
Yeah.
A number of the youngsters, whether it's the pond crabs, whether back then you could sell turtle doves, but you
Yeah.
can't do that now,
No.
or whether it's Morby, Coles, or whatever, those guys were able to take them to St. Martin in order to make themselves $1 or $2. And again, the same boat used to go fishing, but then also for boat racing. But today, to have the Wizard and Light and Peace, and to have guys in their 70s, and also a number of youngsters as teenagers, young teenagers. And Kenny's got a huge advantage because he's the director of the sailing school,
yes,
so
Kenny.
he can pick the best of them.
Yeah.
But the key is in all of that, Hammer, it tells me that boat racing, the future looks good. Once the youth have an interest in it, it will go forward. And as you know, we have taken the Sports Act to the House of
Yeah.
Assembly for the first reading. We had talked about just about the boat racing initially, but might as well take the Sports Act. But the key in all of that is by the time we get around to the end of this season and into next year, that we'll have a legislation in place so you recognize what boat racing means as a cultural event too, and also as a sport where the youngsters are involved to keep culture and tradition alive. You have to support it.
Yes.
And Hammer, the budget is going to come up, and I'm going to put forward that X amount of money is put in there for the Anguilla Day.
Yes.
It's the 60th year. We did it in 2017 when we didn't have much, but we've got a little bit more now. So well, think about 60, and we'll see where we can go from there.
Maybe
But-
60 grand.
well,
60 grand for the first ride.
yeah, there you go. But yeah, but the key is that I would still like, as much of the Light and Peace and Wizard are very successful in West End, I would like to think that all the boats take part, and even on Anguilla Day with the Bush Boys coming in third, and then for the Albert Hughes race where it's the second amount of money next to Anguilla Day, they end up winning it
Yeah, Bush
in-
Boys won that.
with their Four Seasons sponsorship sale,
That's good.
and I think it's great for a bunch of guys like
That's
that,
great.
for them to take that mantle and want to run with it. So
Yeah.
to Shaq and his team, I say congratulations.
You know, and we go back to the sailing school and the role they're playing in with the preservation of boat racing in Anguilla. I spoke to them on my commentary program here, and I have to tell you that among the expats and the locals who are part of that association, brother, we can't thank them enough, because they saw the vision, the need to preserve, the need to promote, the need to really train a new cadre of racers, and they were very successful in doing that. And they continue to be. So I went there sometime ago, and I was surprised to see youngsters 13, 14 still training.
Yeah,
They're coming through.
yeah, and
So that school is critically important to Anguilla's development in that area. It's very important.
it is indeed. It is indeed. And you know, Hammer, sometimes I like to call out my cabinet publicly,
Yeah.
and it's something like this as well, because the land where the sailing school was, where Lit Lounge is or was, that's an area that it could be purchased.
I'm telling you.
And we, as a government of Anguilla, just like I talk about Connors Park, if it's ever up for sale, that the government of Anguilla should buy it for the people of Anguilla,
should, right.
not for the people of West End or for the people of Sandy Ground,
should, right,
but
yeah.
for the people of Anguilla.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, so again, that will preserve an area where the sailing school give the Anguilla Boat Race Association a home.
Yeah, man.
Give them a home, and every August Monday we can still be able to have our
Yeah.
beach party
Right here.
at that spot,
Right here.
and it belongs to the people of Anguilla.
It should be bought by government for sure. I believe
Well,
it should be bought.
it's government's intentions to do that before. I'd like to say before the year is out.
Praise God. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
But yes, but again, for the school itself, bro, and they're doing a great job for Anguilla, a great job. And even when they're doing their fundraisers, I've been there covering their fundraisers from time to time. I'm impressed by what I'm seeing. You know, the folks are there, they're into it big time. Those are expats. They were really born
Yeah.
there, but expats. But to see how committed they are, they're invested. in the development of boat racing in Anguilla. Very, very invested.
Yeah, they are.
I've seen that myself.
And I say we're very grateful for them as well. And I think you know, always look to see the product from it, the potential, and then the product. The product of having Derek, who was captain of the year last year, and then you have Kenny again.
White guys too, you know.
Yeah, again, it is something that we have to support. And what I like about it as well, Hammer, is that from Island Harbor to West End, it and some of the youngsters that you might deem to be the most challenged, these are the ones who've got a passion for it.
Sailing, man.
Sailing, yeah.
I was surprised. I went there the other day, man. I was surprised to see youngsters, 10, 11 years old, and they're in the water and they were the boats and they're excited. I said the passion is there for them. So it's good. It's a great thing we have to support and I know that they raise quite a bit of funds to keep this thing going. So I'm not sure, you know, I'm not sure if government provides a subvention, some help to them, but I know for sure those experts were there, man. You saw them too, raising their cakes and their drinks and little stuff.
Right.
Raising funds for that school. For that
right.
Kid. You know, I've seen that.
Yeah. And again, Hammer, I think once we build an infrastructure at Sandy Ground, again, at the Lit Lounge area, then that boat races and those who, well, what is the Anguilla Boat Racing Association and those who follow boat racing, you know, go and support. Because what we do know is that on any given day, it costs those who do not finish in the top 5, and sometimes even if you do finish in the top 5, it costs you quite a bit. So it is important that we support the sport and not just assume that it's a done deal.
And this morning, when I mentioned that you were coming to the program this morning, a number of persons in Long Bay, West End, you know, they reached out to me, and I'm sure you may have heard it before from some of them as well. There are persons who have been speaking of an emergency road out of Long Bay, West End, in the event that something happens down there. I mean, I'm sure you have heard this before, right?
Right, we've heard it before, and it's part of our agenda for 2027 from Walton Fleming, you know, from Anguilla Trading all the way down into the John Hodge Drive or Road in Long Bay. And in fact, it was an accident this morning, and that was a bit of a backup. I was even late for executive council. You know, if you say that you got caught in traffic in Anguilla, people say, you got to be joking, but it is a factor. And as we grow, it is an issue. But also the John Hodge Road as well, from the stoplight all the way down to pass Ocean Echo back onto the Albert Hughes Drive. That will be done as well. So those are areas in West End. And this, again, it is not just for the people of West End, because on any given day, West End or District 7, West End would have just as many people as the Valley. Because if you think of the number of persons that work at Aurora, Kapchuluka, Four Seasons, Maliohana, and again the number of villas apart from the school and the likes. So it is a case of emergency, and it is also an alternate route. So I think that is vitally important as well.
It's important.
So yes, that is in the pipeline, Hammer.
All right. Now, Minister Cardigan, the Minister of Health, I know that I spoke to our health czar, Mr. McLeod, some time ago, and he's very animated and excited about health in Anguilla. I listened to him. He spoke about the equipment that is being brought in here. We have lots of equipment, high quality, state-of-the-art equipment. I would have been to the mammogram launch at the Welch's Clinic recently, and there's other things in there. C-arms are there, laminar flows in there. You know, the laparoscopic towers, we have them all here now. These are world-class machines. We are well aware of that. Health, Cardi, I'm sure that that's an area that you yourself really have been thinking about and have been working hard on. Are you satisfied with where we are right now? And is there a lot more to go? Okay, we have a lot more to go, I'm sure, in terms of health development in our country.
Well, we say satisfied. If you look back, you think, gee, I've moved down the road. You know, where we would love to be. Of course, we'd like to be further down the road. But what, again, I mean, I am the Minister of Health, but again, I tell a number of people that I'm so fortunate to have a senior advisor who has been the Minister of Health and has been a medical profession. And what I do know, he has a great passion for his profession and for the people of Anguilla. So I don't know how he managed to have done the Ministry of Health before, along with education and social and development and the likes. But the fact is that I am very fortunate that that I could turn to the Honorable Evans McNeil Rogers to be able to take this forward. And is he satisfied where we are? The fact that he will tell you no, because he wants it done like now. The key is that with health, though, you have to put a lot of effort and emphasis into making it happen. And again, I would like to think that is what we are achieving to this point. Quite often people will say this should have been done, that should have been done. But the fact is that the success we've had to date has come from relationships, and again, a lot of what has been achieved at the hospital at that stage has come from a lot of relationships that Honorable Evans McNeil Rogers would have had with persons over the years of his interaction with them. The Sharps have done a terrific job by being very supportive of what we're doing, and wherever the funding is available, we will make sure that we're given the tools so that professionals can come to Anguilla and do operations here. We would love to have more professionals, doctors, surgeons on island, but of course it is a case of what is viable at the time. But the key, though, Hammer, is that rather than have persons fly overseas, we'd rather have the job done here. And I think to this point, we're on the right track. And again, as I said, it's a process, but the process is actually we're doing well at the moment.
Yeah, we are doing well at the moment, and you mentioned overseas travel, and we have the equipment here, and we have so many Anguillans out there too who are specialists too, and of course, with the issue of attracting persons back home with the salaries, I mean, back in the day, that was a problem, and it might still be a problem, to attract the highest quality, personnel, resources, human resources to do the job.
Well, in fact, in the House of Assembly, when we were debating the bill regarding supplementary budget, in fact, the leader of opposition and a surgeon himself was saying that what we're looking to pay a surgeon for a year, they could earn in 1 month. So I want the people of Anguilla to really digest that, because, people or professionals, if they're going to, and if it's their job, if you want them, if you need them, you have to pay the going price. And I think that has been a challenge that we've faced in Anguilla, is that when we look to attract professionals Caribbean-wide, especially or worldwide, when they look to see what they're leaving, where they're at, and the cost of living here, and what has been offered to pay. Ideally, though, Hammer, I would, and it's not just about persons from overseas, I would like to think that all professionals that are living overseas at the moment, given the choice, I'm sure they'd rather work in Anguilla. But we need to be fair to them and not say because they're Anguillan, we could pay them the absolute minimal going price. In fact, if there's such a thing, because we are competing with TCI, with Cayman, Bermuda, Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, the likes. So we have to be competitive. So again, we'll make sure that the funding that is competitive, and this is where the PwC would have come in to say that Anguilla is a great destination, but they'll also be able to pay you what you're worth. And that's only fair.
And that is fair. And also, I heard Mr. Rogers spoke about plans for a new hospital complex as well here. Is that on the cards too?
Well, it has to be. Yeah. It has to be, because what we have done, or what has happened at the Princess Alexandra Hospital, I'm not sure if the new hospital will be named after Honorable Evans McNeil Rogers, but what I would say is that we know there have been some faults there. We know that as we move forward for the next 50 to 100 years, that whatever building we put in place, that the current structure that we have is not suitable. So, and as we grow as an island, we talk about 5-star hotels and 5-star service and 5-star food and the likes, beaches. The fact is, the people are what matters most of all, and health trumps everything. So you want to be able, whether you're a visitor or whether you live here in Anguilla, you like to know that in the case of emergency, you've got the services that is available. You've got the professionals that are available to be able to give you the best chance of recovery or survival.
And also sports tourism, and this is up your street. Sports tourism is also another big thing as well. You know?
It is, and you look at the World Cup. In fact, I've mentioned it a number of times. In fact, I'll go to Scotland with the Angola Commonwealth team end of July into August. But for next year, there's a proposal that we would host a conference, a sports tourism conference. So the ministers of sports, tourism, and health to a certain degree. We will have that here in Anguilla sometime in August, probably the second week in August. And again, it opens new avenues for us, and because sports is a great seller. It also, and one of the things that we're thinking out loud is when you talk about golf as a destination, as a sporting destination, it would be great to have, whether it's the Brian Laras, each island brings their top female and male superstar to come to play in Anguilla for the Caribbean Tourism Cup, Tourism, Health and Sports Cup. So these are some of the things, and because it was Anguilla's idea, we want to make sure the first one takes place here in Anguilla. And of course, it gives us an opportunity to continue to promote our national sport of boat racing. Football, the World Cup is on right now, but there's a lot of traffic that goes on between Anguilla, male and female soccer players are playing.
Yes.
So that brings sports tourism here as well.
Yes.
The tennis cup that we're going to bring back come October, November this year.
Yes.
That again is something that again is and it's not just about persons from overseas coming to play in Anguilla, but Anguillans given an opportunity to compete against them as well.
Just back to health a bit though, do you believe though, and because you've traveled a whole lot, you have first-hand experiences, health tourism itself, I look at the Caymans and the model that they have in the Cayman and other countries, do you think that can work for us here? We just spoke about the cost of providing health care and the professionals and how we pay them. You think that we have a natural flow in that direction? We can develop a vibrant tourism and health sector here in our country.
Of course, Emma. Yeah. Of course, again, if you think of, we got the likes of Dr. Hughes anyway, the number of persons who could come to Anguilla, Dr. Lowell Hughes, that is.
Yes.
The fact that persons could come here if they want to have whatever cosmetic surgeries that is required, if they want to have an operation that requires, even if you want to be incognito, but again, once we've got the professionals that's available and got the facilities that's available, then that is an added attraction, and it works for Cayman Islands. Why can't it work for us? So by all means, it's something we aspire to. So when we talk about sports tourism and health tourism, it is something that definitely can work for all. And I'm the minister of all three, but there is avenue for all three at the same time.
Yeah. Now, I know also that recently you would have launched that initiative where high blood pressure medication, high diabetes medication tools are now available to persons who are 70 days and over.
No. It's available to anybody who is uninsured.
Okay.
So again, we're actually doing it in stages. So the most vulnerable right now are those. Doesn't matter what age you are. I mean, of course, if you're 70, then you qualify for the Senior Shield, so at least you have that available to you at the hospital. But those who are under 70, who are uninsured, and who have to pay 100% wherever they go to get that medication, they can go right now. Once you're registered, you can get that for free.
Oh, yeah.
You can get that for free. So I think that again covers a sector that has been so vulnerable, and whether we like it or not, the hypertension and diabetes is very prevalent in our society.
I was going there right now.
So that is an area that again we always open to suggestions, and again this was one, and again a lot of credit must be given to the Honorable Evans McNeil Rogers on this. because, as I say, he's pushing as hard as he can to cover all the bases. Sometimes I think he wants everything done now, but again, I think that passion and commitment will suggest that he sometimes will make sure that people know he's around.
I think though, you know, that, and you mentioned it earlier too, you said you don't know how you manage Ministry of Education, Health and Tourism and sports over the years, because it's quite a bit, the heavy ministry. He's now dedicated to health. So he can now put all the energies in that direction and all the passion. Maybe that's why he's been successful as well.
Sure, but of course, and I think even for me, I'm fortunate in the sense that I've got Jason Bryan, who's got a huge passion for sports. And if you think that the number of sports that are actively involved, and so he plays a major role in making that happen. Tourism, I've got a very good team. And again, when I talk about a team, there's that vested interest from the tourist board itself. Jamil as the director, Chantel, who's years of experience within the industry, and also Kendisha Hall Prentice, who's a new CMO, as well as the staff, the whole staff at the Angola Tourist Board. They understand what their responsibilities are. The private sector, again, without them, you know, where would we be? The fact is, they themselves got a vested interest in their investment. So it is important that collectively we work well together. But every Angolan has a responsibility to showcase what Angola is about. And in fact, while I was at Executive Council this morning, I raised the point about the Litter Abatement Act. Because I am not happy as I drive from Island Harbor to West End that we have to clean up after our own people who should know better.
You know, this morning I told
who should know better.
The last time you and I spoke along, when we did that promotion for the Albert Hughes Memorial Race, I told my mother when I get back, I said, you know what I saw Carter did, but I have to be true. I was getting packed up to leave. Carter went to his vehicle, take out his
he picked her up
and began picking up garbage from the beach. I saw that for real. I said, wow. I mean, it's a natural part of you to be clean.
Right, but Hammer, the thing is, if there's one aspect of Angola that I think we can improve on, is that we really should not be throwing bottles and cans and tossing them on the side of the road. The men, mainly the guys who work along the road to do the pick up the garbage, were in West End last week, but they probably won't get back for another 3 or 4 weeks. And Hammer, I mean, persons are going to drive by, and it's not just West End, it is back street South Hill. And those guys who go and watch the boat race, those who go to the bars across the road, there are bins there, but what did they choose to do? It's not right. Hammer, it's not right. My appeal to all Angoleans, when I first got in the House of Assembly, I asked for 1 hour a month. You choose wherever you want to go, but your old school, your beach, down your road, go and pick up, dedicate 1 hour a month to Angola, to the cleanliness of Angola. And I guarantee you, Hammer, even if we get 30% this month and another 20% next month, by the end of the year, Angola will be the cleanest island in the Caribbean. That's an award that I would like to have. But you know, they feel that if you do that, you're taking the job with somebody. The money you have to pay to clean up after somebody could be better put in health, could be better put in sports, could be better put in education. All of that.
You know, that afternoon when I saw you with your pickup, that stick you used to pick up the garbage in your bag, you know, I told myself it's a natural part of who you are. You felt so moved to keep the place clean.
But you see, I got and promote Angola. You know, I got and promote Angola. I also challenge the taxi drivers as well. They drive people from Island Harbor to West End back and forth. If you see somebody tossing a bottle or can out the window, call them out. Call the police. You know, but again. It's again, I'm proud of my island, Hammer. I'm proud of my people. And this guy here, I'm very proud of too. He's someone that quite often would give me a suggestion. I can see
he's
forward.
He's a real
I
Angolan.
can't see too much behind me.
He's a patriot.
So the good teams are those
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you don't have to look behind you. The blind side, the quarterback don't have to look behind him.
Those are
The
patriots.
guy who's protecting your blind
Those are
side.
patriots, people who
Yeah.
want the best for country, and the people of Angola. He's one of those persons for sure. Quickly, sports. Back to sports quickly.
Please.
The Webster Park after Hurricane Irma, it was estimated was damaged badly. The walls are still down there. Where are we in terms of the redevelopment of that facility?
Right. So we're moving along with that as well, Hammer. I think there's a plan in place for the development of the park, not just the Players Pavilion or the pavilion. In fact, the Players Pavilion will be relocated to the other side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, as you know, that on any given day, this breeze comes out of the northeast. So
Yeah.
the players' comfort, and even with the sun later in the day, I'm sure if you ever at the park when the players are sitting in the dressing room area,
I know.
it's very uncomfortable. So that will be moved. But of course, it's about the further development of the whole area, not just the Players' Pavilion. We are hoping to have a plan in place very soon, and I'm sure there's some financial commitment from a fundraiser that took place in England. Lord Goldsmith, who is a friend of Boris Johnson, a big cricket fan. So those funds are with the governor's office at the moment. So that will be transferred over to, I believe, the Cricket Association. The work, of course, the Cricket Association doesn't have the money to do the job. It will be done by Maiku. So again, I'm working very closely with Claudius, the Cricket Association, the sports office, to get that up and running. And of course, with the track, that again is something that would, of course, be near the high school, the Albina Lake Hart Comprehensive School. So the park itself would be focused mainly on cricket and activities like Anguilla Day and the likes. And also, of course, you'll still have netball and tennis and the likes. So what will come out, I think that the general public bank will be very impressed with. Of course, we'll have consultation with the different associations and the general public before final approval is done.
So right now we're in the drafting stages of.
Yes, and the good thing is we've got an Anguillian, Cartier Architectures out of Miami, out of Florida, who is very keen to put aside what she's been doing, or her company, to understand that it's a high priority for us. Because I think it's been too long that not enough has been done there. And the key is that for us, as elected members, we want it done now, but we understand, sure, there's a process. But we have to do whatever it takes to help push that process along.
We have to do just that for sure, and of course, cricket is a big game right now. I mean, I spoke to the guys the other day when we were in the park doing some commentary there. It's not like before. Now today you have T20 leagues around the world, and of course, over the years, being on the park, we brag that we had the best pitch in the Caribbean, if not the world. People, and so that's one of our things going for us as well. The pitch we have there, and people love the pitch, and it may have been you or somebody else. I'm not sure. Maybe Alkins, I'm sure, spoke about. The possibility of having big teams coming to practice here in Anguilla once we have the facility up and going, just to practice on a good pitch. That too is part of the, that can bring people to our country, Anguilla, as tourists,
Sure,
sports
tourism, of course. And the mileage we get. One of the things, there's a misconception that cricket is dying in the Caribbean. Maybe there are not as many playing. But because in many other sports. But what I will tell you is that cricket in the Caribbean, there are more millionaires now playing cricket than the days when we were the best team in the world. Because Hammer, as you know, you talk about the number of T20 around the world. Even now in the United States, and I think what is important for us is that we have to get back on track to find our cricketers that we can give an opportunity to be able to make a profession out of cricket. And a paid professional, not just as in the past, you play for the Leewards, hope to play for the West Indies, and then when you look, you need to have a job after you've retired playing cricket. But the fact is right now that there's so many players who may not be regarded as world beaters, But you check their bank balance, Hammer, and
Yeah,
they've
league.
earned quite a lot of money.
The big-
It's a profession, and I think
They're
that's
in
the
the big
key.
league for sure right now, and they're making money. When you look at the Hep Myers and those guys, I mean, those guys are millionaires.
Well, but
Yeah,
it tells you that there's a test match going on today in Antigua where the Westerners are playing Sri Lanka, but a lot of the other cricketers
Yes.
are playing elsewhere around the
in
world
the world.
because the West Indies board cannot pay them
Cannot pay them.
what they can earn in a 6-week contract.
That is true. All right. So, folks, just about 11 now before one card. Anything else you wish to touch before we put a wrap on this one? Anything else you wish to touch on? Yeah, we missed out on.
No, well,
Okay.
I think our conversation, I want to thank our people out there. Also, I think for August Thursday down at Meads Bay, again, it is special it's the Anguillan reunion. I am not going to knock August Monday in any way, the Caribbean Beach Party, but I think that tradition has been about August Thursday where Anguillians come back home, and Anguillians here, the youngsters, the only day out to the west, to Meads Bay was on August Thursday.
For me too. For me as a boy
Yeah,
growing up, I recall
and
that.
yeah, and again, I'm going to still reach out to supporters and sponsors to get some funding. I still want to challenge the festivals committee to make sure that they recognize when you talk about festivals committees and carnival that August Thursday and August Monday came before any of that, and we have to make sure that we respect exactly what August Thursday is about.
You know, I must commend the people of Long Bay West End though for the revitalization of August Thursday. At some point it did win a bit, really, but she's now back in full bloom, really,
Yes.
and Julie, and so many fronts because the Hughes' Memorial Race, Albert Hughes Race,
Yes.
shows us that last weekend what is all about down there, and we saw the vibrancy, we saw the turnout down there, and the other another event too. Usually have a Juve event sometimes every year down there. We have seen how that has also developed as well, and the August Thursday, after over the last couple of years, have been holding its own very strong, very strong.
Right, but it needs the support. It needs the support. And again, what I will say is that the Western Community Improvement Club as well, they take great pride in their in the community. Whether it's the Bedneswell, the Rogerswell, the welcome sign, at the stoplight, so the reservoir across from Foods 95. So the people of the district, and a few from outside too, they take great pride in the area. And the Anguilla Enhancement Program have done a terrific job in the sense that it brought a lot of young people as well across the island to take that pride in the promotion of their island. And again, that's why I find it so confusing that there's so many others choose to abuse it by littering around those areas and throughout the island. So we focus on the good ones, and we need to encourage those who are not doing what they're supposed to do to get on board.
All right, Minister Cardigan Connor, Minister of Tourism, Health and Sports here. Thank you for being on our program today, sir, and I wish you the best. And again, please, okay, Hamilton, the Minister, you need to fix what's happening at the clinic in South Hill. Okay, what's happening on there? Okay, well,
The clinic in South, right.
Yeah, you're looking at South Hill. What's happening on there?
Well,
what's happening?
again, I appreciate a heads up on that, but we'll deal with it.
He'll deal with it. Okay. So
And the other thing too, at the Agnes Agatha Richardson Clinic in West End, I think our objective is to get that open, open very soon.
Very soon.
Because again, as I said, it caters to a wide variety. We've got a number of seniors in the area. At times when persons can't come to you, you need to go to them.
Yes.
So I think it's important that we do that. And of course, the school and the number of employees that are working in the hotel industry in that area. And this is something else that I would like to see happen, Hammer. When someone says they're not feeling well, I'd rather persons or managers send them home, but ask them to go to the clinic. Go and get checked to see exactly what the challenges are.
Yes.
And if we can do that, it shows that we're really taking about putting our people first, the welfare, the health care of our people.
You're going now, Brother Mark is up next. Mark is up next first. But I think it would be remiss of me if I allow you to leave here without touching briefly on the Anguilla, commercial building in London. You will live there for a number of years, and they almost lived me there. But you lived for many years in that area. It's a hot debate, raging debate in Anguilla right now. The pros and cons are out there, out there for consideration. But as a man who really lived there, and as someone who has been around government corridors for a number of years now, and you're directly involved with tourism, how do you see having that presence, that physical presence on the ground there, impacting your tourism promotion for our country, Angola? How do you see that building? How will that benefit Anguillians, us having that commercial space there in Britain?
In a huge way, Hammer. In a huge way. I think what I think is unfortunate is that we make politics out of everything, and people, those who want to play the political game, try to poison the minds of others. It is not about us taking money, stopping a project here to invest in an office. In fact, the difference between an office and a house, if you, in England, in London, the Australian embassy is referred to as Australia House. I've been there many times when I had needed a visa to go to Australia. But the benefits of having a location to have an office in England where all Anguillians, wherever you are, you could be coming from Russia and get stuck in London for whatever reason. But you know there's a place you can go where you'll be looked after. With a number of our students, whatever challenges they might face, there was a time when we had family members here who had to go to England because one of the son had died, got stabbed, but they didn't know who to go to. They're asking me to reach out to my friends to go and help them. That should not be the... Listen, I don't mind that, but if we are doing so well, wherever our people are, they should be benefiting from it. We can play the politics about tax, but then just use the .ai money, because nobody is paying tax into the AI fund. The fact is that fund comes for all Anguillans, wherever you are. And we need to respect that because you're not in Angola doesn't mean that the government should not care about you. Wherever you are, you're an Anguillian. If you're an Anguillian, wherever you are, you're an Anguillian. And so for me, whether it's with the .ai tourism, Britain should be on number 2 to the US when it comes to tourism. We've lost that opportunity to promote Anguilla in England. Why should we not have a presence in the heart of London when every other overseas territory has it? We had a conversation last night with some of the parliamentarians who came here for the .ai conference, sat around the table, and they were thinking that is something they all need to do. That is something they all need to have a presence. So they can't understand why there's a fuss here in Anguilla about this office or house in England. The fact is it belongs to the people, not the Anguilla United Front. Because whichever government wins the next election, it's up to them to do it. We could put our money into NCBA and earn 1%, or we could buy a property. And the other thing too, Hammer, is that like even here in Angola, the government of Angola, where there's property that's available, it is important for Anguillans, for the government of Angola to buy it for the people of Angola. Because as you look around, there's a lot of land for sale and there's a lot of buyers. But how many of those are Anguillian? We only have 35 square miles. Wherever I would support investing in your people for the future. What we love about our foreparents is they left us a piece of land to compare with the rest of the other islands. That's what gave us a degree of confidence. It gave us an opportunity where we could actually grow on the property and also earn from it. So when you talk about that office or building a house in London, I support it 100% because there are a number of Anguillians that still needs help, and they need help where they could go to an office to say whether they move from Anguilla with their children or to school or for health situations. Not everybody from Angola has got a family member in England. And even if you do have a family member, you're not sure what the relationship is like. But government has a responsibility for the people, even when your family don't have that, feel they don't have that responsibility for you.
Well said, Minister Cardigan Kana. Sir, thank you for that. And again, I want to thank you for coming in, and I want to wish you the best. And of course, the Ministry of Health, Tourism and Sports as well. All the best, and thanks for being here. Okay?
Thank you for your time, Hammer. And
all right, thank you.
Mark,
All right, okay. All right, so folks, today have Minister of Tourism, Health and Sports Cardigan Kana on our program. We're right here on Class FM, our Thursday program today. And you heard on the big issues impacting us, affecting us all here in our country, Angola. And of course, we thank you for listening to that session. We're about to change gears now. We're about to bring to you Mr. Mark Romney, another great Angolan, one of our patriots, one of our good brothers, and someone who loves our country, has a passion for Angola, someone who usually reaches out to me, as you heard Mr. Connor spoke up there when it comes to Angolan issues, information. He makes sure you get the messaging right every single time. He loves the country, Angola, but he's also a man who's deeply involved with the culture, the heritage of parts aspects of Angola. So much so that this year he is this Carnival Committee, the Calypso Subcommittee chair. So he's going to run Calypso show this year in a very big way, and it gives me great pleasure to have him in the studio today, because usually he's a busy man. He is a busy man, but I had about a week more to get a schedule, so he's with me today, so I'm happy to have him here. Brother Mark Romney, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Hammer. Good afternoon to all your viewers and listeners. Pleasure for me to be here.
Yeah. And let me say congrats to you again, and commend you for taking up the role this year of Calypso chair. I know it's always a dicey type of a job, a little hot here and there under the collar at times, but I think it's very important for us to have people who are steep in our culture, who understand Angola's cultural landscape, and who understand the art form too, to be a part of these initiatives, these ventures, because we need the best of it. And knowing you are a cool ruler, and you have experience in this area, and I'm happy to have you on board this year for sure.
Well, thanks very much. Yeah, this is my, as I will say, second time around the stake.
Okay.
Way back when, under John Benjamin, as a matter of fact, when John Benjamin took over as the chairman of at Angola Summer Festival, I was his deputy, and I had a heavy lifting as it relates to not just Calypso, but I also had bands.
I remember,
and he also entrusted me with the checkbook. So.
Because that's your natural, that's your job.
That was my job.
You are accountant man, the figures, run the figures for all the years. Now, tell me, Romney, where are we now? I know that we had some issues recently where Calypso was not too happy with, not hearing the truth about, not getting information about their prize money. The minister came in just subsequent to that, and she would play the air that it was not your fault, but they were waiting for sponsors, and she gave a commitment, and now since then she reported back that things were being sorted out, and the Calypsonians too came through and said that they were happier after meeting with the minister and yourself and the team. So where are we now in terms of preparations for this year's Calypso Monarch competition? Where are we?
Well, I was just next door to you at the Lansing Ball Cultural Center, working with the CEO there. And getting the checks out. When I say the checks out, the preparation fees. Last evening we held a media launch, as well as the Calypsonians would have signed their participation agreements, and given that would be the confirmation that they intend to be part of the summer festival in terms of the Calypso Monarch competition. And thus far, just about 12 of them have completed those agreements, still awaiting a couple other guys to come through. Speaking of the semifinals itself, which still and I say still because we were considering a number of changes, but it just was not quite possible in terms of to accommodate, if I should say, with the passing of Brother Lee. Brother Lee, of course, being a former subcommittee chair as well, had such an integral part within the whole development of Calypso, not just as a songwriter or composer, but also as a musician. He was very steep in the art form, and as such, we are actually dedicating this year's Calypso competition in his honor. It will be the Brother Lee Senior Calypso Monarch competition. Now, the other thing I just want to touch on, there are some 17 Calypsonians. We did have initially, I would say 25 that had registered. However, owing to some circumstances beyond our control, when I say that the committee's control, a couple of the guys had decided to withdraw. Some of them were impacted by Brother Lee's passing, because he was their writer. We had other situations whereby, owing to travel and with the changes of dates, and then you had some who just, for whatever reason, personal reasons, had to withdraw. So as a result of that, we are down now to 17 Calypsonians that will make their appearance on July 11th. From that 17, we'll be taking 8 to go through to the finals.
To the final.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So July 11th will be the. Is it July what?
July 11th will be the semifinals right here at the Lansing Bowl Cultural Center. It will be a one-song format. In other words, they sing one song, and then from that they will have the 8 going through to challenge the defending monarch. When I say challenge, she will not be appearing at the semifinals, of course. She's comfortably sitting and waiting to see who are the 8 gladiators that will be coming forward to take her down.
Yes. So for folks who are getting that now, so bear in mind, semi-final will be July 11th at Lansing Bowl Cultural Center, 8 p.m. sharp, and of course, so at the stage now, we're just going through the process now of registration. Getting them registered, getting their package together for
right. So I spent quite a bit of the time this morning waiting them to come through. I did let them know that I would have been on air between 12:30 and 1, but I know I had to give way. So I'm hoping that they're listening, just to let them know that I might be delayed as a result of that. The other thing too, and I know it has caused quite a bit of stir, and I know the festival's chair, so I'll say it before you hit me with it. The festival's chair would have already spoken to this, but yes, the Calypso Finals is slated for August 6th. That's August Thursday. I know the minister was just speaking about that, or alluded to it as well. But we were faced with some very interesting challenges, if I should say that way. On one end, you have a number of key stakeholders. So you have the folks who are at the booths, the booth owners. You have other parties or stakeholders, as I said. The fact is, we had to look at the overall program. It was not a one-man decision, as some people felt. It was me, meaning I, as Mark Romney, decided to move the show by myself. I'm not a Hercules in any shape or form. But what really had to be considered overall was to ensure that we have as much as possible a compact calendar of events, and as a result of that, we are prepared to revisit this come next year. I say we, as part of the committee. The interesting aspect, just last night, I had already indicated I was only going to do this thing one more time around the bend. Last night, to my surprise, I was urged, I won't want to say begged, but to stay with us.
They said it to me here on the program that they came in here.
Oh, they did?
They told me flat, Mark Ramden, no resign and stay. And these are senior people, very senior helpers who here to be flat. They're calling them loud. Mark Harris, I stay.
I gotta stay. Well, they made that they made that resoundingly clear last night, to my surprise, because to be honest with you, I was dealing with so many other things. I was not really actively monitoring what was happening. As a matter of fact, the night when they were here during your news coverage, I was answering them in the chat, thinking, I was not aware until someone else sent me the message, and then I tuned in towards the end. But be that as it may, I understood their concerns. I tried my best. When I say I tried my best, to give them the actual state of play where things were at the moment. I could not commit to things which I do not have.
I think the issue may have been that, I know how you're with diplomatic at times. The issue was being sponsorship, waiting to get word, and they didn't understand that part.
No.
You were saying, I'm going to get back to you. So
well, they
thought they sang about that.
Yes, I heard the song.
But it was as simple as that. They're waiting for sponsors to commit to work with the prices. It was a simple thing,
Right. So having said that, I am happy now. I've got more or less, we are much closer to having that final commitment from the prospective sponsors, and I don't want to go into preempt that right now, but fairly soon, once I get that definitive commitment from them in terms of when I see it black and white. I know hear someone they'll talk about the bread when it's baked, not when it's in the dough state.
It's not bread until it's baked.
It's not bread until it's baked. I don't consider the dough or the dough, depends on how you want to pronounce it.
Not bread.
That's not bread. Okay, or the mix. No. When it comes out of the oven as a finished product, then I could deal with it.
Right. So in terms of practice sessions, I know that usually that's a highlight of it too. When we begin practice with the bands.
So the band has the last update that I had. They had about in terms of the music, they had about from six of the Calypsonians they had music for. I know of them now. A number of them are now on a mad rush to get their music sheets and so on. And but the band started rehearsing on their own. When I say on their own, based on the sheets that they had. So they were working through that, and I would imagine things are going to pick up really over this weekend into next week, because time is really rapidly approaching.
Now for sure. We're hearing that now, guys. So be a part of it now. So, but they also some of the first prize is
the prizes, yes. So again, the reason they were pushing on that at the time, because bear in mind, if I may just step back, the running of Carnival or the summer festival, I should say, is much different to how it was before. And right now, you have to essentially be very much under the microscope, when I say that way, in terms of your budget submissions, and you only could spend based on the budget. So the Anguilla Festivals Development Commission, if I were to go there just a little, it's effectively a statutory body, if you wish, which means it's going to come under all of the necessary financial regulations in that sense. And as such, we have to be very, very on the ball with how, because it's no longer the case where Carnival had an overrun or Summer Festival had an overrun, then the minister will come and do a bailout. Those days are over. All right, and as a result of those days being over, you have to be very, very financially responsible. And the minister, don't take her by her size. She was very impactful in making sure that message was clearly understood. So having said that, we do know that, in terms of the whole process, in terms of as it relates to the expenditure side, you have to make sure you go through the full works. When I say that, in terms of requisition or getting quotations, requisitions, and payments will only be made against that particular matching process, if I should say it that way. You must have a purchase order, or rather a requisition, a purchase order. Everything must be matched with the invoice before the check will be issued. Similarly, with the Calypsonians, where they were making, raising their concerns, they said only until you sign the agreement will any funds be dispersed. So
they have to sign.
They have to sign. Which gives the confirmation of the intent, if I should say it that way, to be part of the summer festival.
Okay. Will there be any because over the years some participation fees, person you have participated, will there be fees for that too? Over the years I've paid some fees that I recall being the case in that Carnival 50 at least, I think was the case.
So we were in a bit of a, when I say bit of a little quandary there. I say that because the initial, as a matter of fact, we had some 3 different versions of budget submission. I say we, meaning in particular the Calypso subcommittee. In our last submission, that was looked at because it was overlooked, for lack of a better word, in the actual budget that was submitted. In other words, what they refer to as a consolation prize. What we are speaking here of is those who do not make it through to the finals. So the non-finalists, they were also expecting or normally have been paid what they call a consolation prize or fee. So that was not included. However, it went back to the drawing board with the intent that we will do our best to accommodate it.
That is great stuff happening there now for sure. And your committee, who are on the committee? Your committee.
Right.
You're the chair.
I'm the chair. Yes. As a matter of fact, the committee. So we have Also on the committee, Miss Kyria Hughes. She's actually the secretary. Kyria Hughes. We have another very interesting young lady, Makiba Breezy. Makiba Breezy. Her name gives me a little trouble. I apologize if I'm not getting it quite right. But her last name is Breezy. Makiba Breezy. And she's the events coordinator. And we have Mr. Calvin Hughes, who is on PRO. And then myself. So it's a 4-member committee.
A committee. Okay, so we are there now. So so folks, you're getting it here live in living color. So you heard that. So we're on track. Really for what will be a great show as always at Calypso. Now another aspect of it, because I recall there was a comment made here when the Calypsons came here the first night, and they were a little livid. They spoke about censorship, and that bothered me a little bit when I heard about that they were told not to sing about certain things, and right away that became political because I saw the WhatsApps they made these memes that were going around, and as if we were trying to stifle Calypsonians. But then after I met you the other day at a funeral, and I listened to what you were telling me, and it made sense then. The content really, and sometimes the legal implications of these songs. It's not like before. Before in TNT, you could have gone ahead and said what you want about this person, that person. Now, even in Calypso, there are legal ramifications.
Definitely. So let me speak to that, especially for the benefit not just of the Calypsonians, but to the public. What was said, and it wasn't, and I mean, just state this from the very top. It was never ever said that there was, quote unquote, whether you want to call it a gag order or any sort of censorship, nothing of the sort. What was said to the Calypsonians was this: be mindful that Angola has now become a very litigious society. So if you're going to go and within your songs and make mention of someone and you expressly state the person's name, and it could be seen as defamation or something that will bring in dishonor to their name, that person may choose, or group may choose, to take legal action. If that is the case, then you need to be mindful of the fact that you, meaning the Calypsonian, are fully responsible for your lyrical content. And as such, there will be a disclaimer within that participation agreement that will speak to it. In other words, to use one famous expression, and I've heard so many times, you'll be on your own.
On your own.
You're on your own. You're on your own.
Don't look to the committee to help you.
Don't look, exactly. Right. So because the committee is not taking risk, even though, because you see, this is the thing. When you have these kind of cases, they always tend to look for, as they will say, quote unquote, the person with the deeper pocket. So it could have been easily extended to the Anguilla Summer Festival Committee, which by extension is the Anguilla Development Commission, which by extension ties right back into the government of Angola. So as a result of that, when you follow, if I should say, you follow that chain, we have to say, well, look, here it is. This is where the stopgap is as it relates to that. So that disclaimer is in there, and it was. And at the same time, I said, bearing in mind, it's to protect you. It's not anything to say that you're being censored or anything of the sort. And to even bring it for a closer home, I cited or made reference to the fact that I understood right now before our own courts. There are some cases involving defamation. And as a result of that, and the source of this is coming through social media.
Social media.
So if it's social media, can you imagine if it's, I can have your picture, I can have everything while you're delivering on stage, I can hear the audio, I can see the video, whatever. So there's no way of, if I should say, disassociating yourself from it. Because all of this will become admissible in the court of law.
Right now, for sure. It's crazy. It's crazy. And as we speak today, folks, listeners, I almost forgot this one, but at least today, 2 other persons today in Angola were also issued letters today because of social media. Just today. Just today. That happened today. So, and those matters. And that came from cell phones again and being posted
exactly.
Online. So that advice was good advice. I think
so that I felt that was a level of responsibility I had to take because bearing in mind, as I said, Angola has changed, and you got to be mindful of the changes as we move along. So it wasn't a case, as they put it out now. I got the 3 songs on me. 3 songs. Those songs were even sent to me by persons outside of Angola.
Yeah.
One person was in New York and
Yeah,
said,
Martha.
I didn't hear it. I said, wow.
Yeah,
So 3 songs. I say, okay. I did tell someone I was going to respond maybe, but I just let that slide.
No,
when
but-
I say respond in song.
Yeah, but I believe though that what you're saying is correct though, because it's a time to remind of the times we're living in. Not like before. Back in the day, we could have done those things, and the guys took it, on the chin and the smile.
Yeah.
Today now, people have the lawyers, and they're seeking redress quickly.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
and they want to get to you. So you must be careful for real.
You got to be careful.
It's not like before.
It's not like
Like before.
It's not-
Things have changed
and
a
like I
lot,
said, the
yeah.
whole organization of the festivals in Angola is completely different now as
Right
well.
now, for sure.
So, there are, I mean, you have the Angola Festivals Development Commission, which is something that I know you've been
Pushing
part of that lobby.
Long,
It is now here.
It's here
Some
now.
people don't quite like the actual
No,
final
I love it.
setup. Some I say
It's a
some.
great start. It's a great
It's a great
start.
start.
For
That's
sure,
what I'm
bro.
saying.
We
Yeah.
need to have it. And I'm going to see getting better from here.
Yes.
As we keep on.
It most definitely will.
Yeah.
And this year being the first year, we had a bit of, if I call them,
Yeah,
teething
yeah,
pains.
that's okay.
So there are certain
Yeah.
little kinks that we have been, but I know for sure come next year and the years thereafter, whoever comes in will have a much smoother journey along the way.
Yep, it was important for us to have a body that geared towards festival development itself across
Yes,
the country, because
definitely.
we have so many festivals in Angola that need support.
Yeah,
some
they do.
guidance.
They do.
And that office will be able to get us to a better place. And when you look at the importance of festivals, we spoke earlier to Cardi about numbers, and even during the slow periods, you're having numbers that are relatively high, and festivals tend to drive numbers.
Oh, they
as
do.
well.
Oh, yeah.
So that commission has a vital role to play, especially around our down season, the slow period.
Yes, the
time,
slow
to
period.
Up the numbers for us
Yes.
in a big way. Some of festivals coming up now, one of our major,
Which is the
cultural
major
event,
cultural
event.
event,
You'll see
yes.
high numbers there, and there are other things too that we'll be able to do using the Festival Development Commission to advance in those areas. So there's a lot of work for that unit to really in the future for us. As a
Oh yeah, most certainly, because literally all the festivals
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
have now will fall under that umbrella, or come under that umbrella,
A lot of work
and
for
as
that.
a result of that, there's quite a bit of mileage to be had.
Yep. So it's a step in the right direction. So persons who might be critical of it, yes, there's certain things that you want. You want foundation, not commission, but it's a step in the right direction.
It's most certainly.
Believe you me, it is. It is better than what we had, but it's the best we've had. Really, this is the best thing for us right now. I mean, we have never been to this stage before. This is new territory.
It's
for
new
us,
territory,
but
yes.
it's the best option really that we have chosen here, and that's the commission. We have to work with it. That's for sure. So guys, folks, so again, we're getting ready for Calypso, and the Calypso is a major part of our carnival celebration. People look forward to it. Already we're getting numbers. Decent came out this morning with a nice one, and there are others out there too, and there's the lovers out there as well. They're all out there, and it's adding to the excitement already. So
Oh, yeah, there's quite a bit of fever in the air.
What's the name again? The Vero.
Oh, yeah.
The lady, she's out there strong too. So a lot of activity right now is out there.
There's a lot.
Really.
And I really want to commend the Calypsonians and their fine work. Calypso is an art, make no bones about that.
Sure, yeah.
And I am very happy too with the enthusiasm and the energy as a whole. I'm looking forward to a very exciting competition. And I believe it's going to be quite an interesting one as well.
It will be very interesting indeed. All right, so Mr. Mark Rumley, folks, he's the subcommittee chair for our Angola Summer Festival, our Calypso show, and again, will be held here. Someone says social commentary, and no one can demand them to sing with no. Yes, you can't hold. They're not being held hostage. Here, my fine lady. No, it's not that. He's not saying that at all. What he's saying is that in today's society, you're well aware that people sue for everything. I mean, I've been here sitting over the years doing commentaries, and I've had many letters just from me from right here. Okay, on this program, but you understand singing, and you might call someone name, something that that over the years may have been allowed to slide. In today's world now, people are very just they want to sue for everything. So the person who will sue you, really, according to how you impact them, damage their character with these things, they'll sue you. It's a fact. It's just a fact of
What it does,
Yeah.
that person, what I just would say is this. With Calypso being the art that it is, creativity now will become even more important. And within the criteria, for example, there is something what we call wordcraft.
Yeah.
And the Calypsonian has the ability to spin that in a particular way or fashion that you will have to let your imagination escape as to what it is. You might get it or you may not get it. It may come with a particular meaning, but someone else can say, no, it doesn't mean that, it means this.
Double entendre, yeah.
Double entendre.
Yeah, that's a nice one. That's art that should have had to big old those guys with the
Exactly.
He's a master at that.
Yes. So, at the end of the day, that's why I say it lends itself to the whole creative element within the Calypso composition.
Yeah, that's a good thing for sure. All right, so folks, so things are looking up. Real and Julep Platinum Band, they're getting ready for the event. We know that, and will there be any other activities though? Because Calypso's
well, we were hoping, yes, that we can get some tents going. I know it's kind of pulling a bit right now in terms of the timing, but the hope is, and one particular tent that we want to do is for the elderly, for the folks from the senior citizens, for the various care homes, to have an event especially for them at the Lansing Cultural Center. It was done last year under Drac when he was as chairman, and it is one of the events that one of our keen sponsors is very much want to see that back. For them, it's a very good community initiative, and we are looking as much as possible to ensure we can do that. And like I said, we are hoping we could still get in a couple tents. We're a bit behind, but next time around, I know for sure we'll be able to start our tents much earlier.
You still have time. A few days. It may not be enough time, but maybe you'll get some 1 or 2 in for sure.
Well, we did have one tent at the Welch's Fest. The guys made appearances. Unfortunately, only 2 were able to at the time. So we're still hoping that as we move through the months, we're right into June, and June is on its way out, so we will have July basically to play with. But if we could get in at least 2 or 3 during that period, we'd be quite happy. You did ask me about prizes earlier, and I just wanted to mention, so unfortunately, this is the other thing that's not on the table. There are no 4 wheels involved this year. There's no prize of a vehicle, but we do have some cash prizes. The first prize would be, when I say to the winner, 20,000 EC dollars. The first runner-up, 15,000 EC dollars. The second runner-up, 12,000 EC dollars. And third runner-up, this is definite. This is $8,000, and then for the non-placing finalists, which it is 3,000 each.
Okay, good. All right.
Along with that, we do have some other incentives, like first Calypsonian to release, best social commentary, and I think there's another one for most humorous. So each of those come with an incentive of $500.
All right, sounds good to me. All right, so folks, 25 minutes after 1, so Mark, I know you have to get back to your office.
I have to get back to my office. I guess some of the guys are there waiting.
And you're right up the show. So again, thank you for coming in. Thanks for the information. Thanks for the update. And I wish you all the best, man, as we prepare for Carnival 52. It is right here in Rainbow City, Anguilla. And of course, we're looking forward to a great Calypso show. Of course, Calypso is a part of the culture, the heritage here in our country, Anguilla. And when that time comes, it's like boat racing. People look for the boat racing and Calypso.
Oh, yes.
So for sure, we must have a great show. So thank you, man. And again, I'm happy to see the Calypsonians that they're on board, that they were here, and they said Mark no resigning. So
they made that very. I must admit that one caught me totally off guard last night.
Mark can't resign. He got to stay here.
So you gotta stay. How they said it? The refrain. You gotta stay. You gotta stay here with me.
Yeah, you gotta stay. You can't move. I heard him say it here too. I was like, okay, good. That's a good thing. I love to hear that. We're all the best. Take care, man. All the best here. And
all right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
All right, so Mark Robin there for you folks, man, here in the afternoon time, and you heard Mr. Mark there for you, for yourself, and so you now know the Calypso show is is well on the way in terms of preparations for the event. They're working it today and getting the the participation fees in place right now for the guys. That money is used to have recordings and etc. And they're working on that today all day, so they're getting ready to do those persons who are recording will have their funding in place shortly, and they're getting ready for the big events. We do know semi-finals will be on the July 11th. The Lansing Cultural Center, 8 p.m. sharp, and the Calypso show will take place on August Thursday right at Lansing Cultural Center. And this year, though, for Carnival, over the years we cried about nothing in the village, 1 or 2 nights, and then we are gone outside, outsourcing everything. This year, every night during Carnival, there will be an activity. There will be an activity at Lansing World Cultural Center, and I love that idea because booth owners complained to us over the years about the lack of events at the bowl. But this year this year you can't complain because every night there'll be something going on there, and it's a time when Anguillans return from overseas too. So you're gonna have a lot of Anguillans, other Caribbean people, other tourists in our country. So you're gonna have people all around the place, and they'll be supporting the bars and the eating stalls as well. So we're in for a good one. So guys, all the best to you, and I want to thank you at this point in time. I want to close out here, bring the curtains down on our Thursday program for today, and just to remind you that you can join us here. That's next week, Thursday, God's willing, around the same time for another presentation. Yes, and we thank you. We thank you for listening. We thank you for viewing as well. All right. So 28 down after the 1 o'clock hour. I think we covered everything. We covered all the bases here right now. Just making sure we cover all the bases. We touch everything that we were supposed to touch up on today, or not just yet. I spoke to it earlier before with Mark just a while ago there. I did mention to you that while we were talking about litigation and lawsuits in our country, Anguilla, and lawsuits here in our country, Anguilla, I would have mentioned to you, that okay. I would have mentioned to you here earlier on, as I spoke to you, that that there were lawsuits again swirling around Thomas Eddie Kelly. I saw him this morning earlier. I spoke to him this morning, and again, he was an Anguillan. It was the court with a number of persons. That thing that went around with Eddie Kelly has not gone away. There are persons who are now in court who are having a difficult time, and he did promise that he was going to keep people in court for a very long time, or persons who were messing with his character as a trader. And because of the things that were being said by Eddie Kelly, the persons here could not prove those things, because the truth is that he's a trader with a company that has so many other traders who are trading on the stock exchange, and those persons really who went after him really went after the whole firm, really, and they did single him out, really, and they began to attack him as a person, maybe through politics or out of ignorance, but they went there. He warned several persons to stop. He told them that he is one of several people, more than 100 traders who trade with with that company. He's not him alone, and persons. And he said, when you sue everybody in the firm, you sue the whole firm. But in Anguilla, they saw that, and they went after him, and they had a lot to say about him, and all these things really and truly. And he warned them to stop. And there were persons who got brave, apparently, allegedly, and began to post stuff online about him. And he sued those people. Today, it's a terrible thing going on in the court. There are persons who are not winning, and Eddie Kelly, and what I've now learned is that some of those persons who were in the courts have given up other people who would have given them these recordings, and you now have at least 2 other persons who are now being sued as of today. You see, so more people are being sued. So he's widening the net in this matter. It's a lot. This is a hell of a lesson, really, for persons on social media. Even for myself, I recognize now that you must be careful sharing certain things, because if your name called, you can be sued really for sharing, because people are going to say that Hammer give it to them. That's the problem you're facing, or is that Tom give it to them, Junior give it to them, or whoever give it to them. They want to say those things for sure, and that's the problem you're facing right now. And and that's where we are today. So some persons are now being harassed again today because of those things. So be careful what you share. Be careful how you engage on social media, because this case, for the most part, it centers on social media postings. And it's a very serious matter, and the lawsuits are up in the millions of dollars. In some cases, the last count I checked was somewhere for $6.4 million worth of trouble this would have been. And Thomas Kelly, Eddie Kelly, would have brought in top lawyers, King's counsels who are working for like $1,000 an hour, more US per hour. You see, so he's not playing with his name being ripped apart by people here. So it has really quieted things down a whole lot. People are not talking like before because of those same things, because you can be sued for your mouth now, and you must prove when you say a man is a this and a that. You gotta prove it. You must prove that he is this and that for sure. And so far, from what I've seen, persons who would have shared those videos and said things that they're having a difficult time trying to find evidence to support these statements. But what is also said is that the persons who are now being targeted by Kelly are not persons who would have made those videos. Other people made the videos, and those postings and send them around to them. But they're persons who are now being hammered for posting on social media. You see, so there's an old saying from my grandmother that I hold dear, and even right now when I heard what was happening, I told myself it's a true saying. Never follow a multitude to do wrong or evil, because when the time comes, you are left with the problems. And just right now, I'm seeing it right now. The persons who are involved in this matter, who I feel terrible for, I feel sad for, because they're friends of mine too, and to see where they found themselves in this situation is not good. It's quite worrying, and I know for a fact that this lady did not get those things. At any one of those persons who are there, one person there is a decent woman, a very decent person, and I'm sure that she didn't make it up. She received it from somebody. It's just sad. But the damages in terms from what this has cost really is over $6 million worth of damage so far I'm seeing. So not good at all. So it has shown me that to be even more circumspect now, be extra careful with the things you're doing, because if you're caught sleeping or slacking, you can find yourself in a legal situation where you're being asked to pay big money because of your mouth and because of your actions, right? So, and in this form of business that we do here, litigation is the big threat to me. Litigation is a big threat to this operation. So I must be extra careful as to how we move around the issues, because in so doing, oftentimes you step on toes, and if you're caught in the wrong, the persons who you were able to criticize on your programs, if I'm caught in the wrong, can turn around and sue me, and that they can sue for everything you've got. And that's the danger of the environment we're living in now. A very litigious environment. Not like before. First, I could have said things about other people and get away with it. Right now, you open your mouth, now they're gonna sue you. Very sad, but that's the reality of our situation. All right. So, folks, I've got to thank you now. I've got to leave you now, but yes. I'll leave you here now, folks. And so again, Eddie Kelly, today he was suing people again. So I thought the suing was over, but it's not over. They are suing again. Most lawsuits are going on today for others. So by Monday, maybe tomorrow, you'll hear the cry, and you might hear names again as to who may have been sued after today. I'm sure you'll hear it when the time comes. But so just be on the lookout. Be careful with what you share, what you send around the place. All right. So all right. Okay. So. Yep, man. So it's over $6 million worth of lawsuits right now out there. Kelly's not playing, and there's some big people involved in this nonsense. Smaller people, regular people, higher end of society people who are being wrapped up in this whole thing. It's terrible. It's not good. It's not good. So be careful, folks, with what you share around. Be careful. If you're not sure, don't do it, because you might be left holding the bag. Because I'm sure that the people who would have given those ladies and that thing to share around, those ladies did not make it. They just were sharing what they received, but they were caught really in posting, and proof of posting is what he would have gotten hold of. That's how he was able to sue some people for what they would have done. There's another guy who also came online here on class, and he also would have posted something, and really and truly he said something too. He was posting away online and attacking, and he didn't care. It seems like he too is now in a legal quagmire. He too has been to the court a couple of times now already. He's now crying to the court, begging for mercy. But it seems that Eddie Kelly is not having mercy, because his name was trampled on by some people, and they seemed hell bent at the time in destroying his name, it seems. So he's not playing. He's not taking mercy from nobody, it seems, right now. He's in a no nonsense and a no mercy mood, it seems, at this point in time. So anyhow, I'll have more on that for you later, but be careful. Just be careful with what you post and how you share stuff, because you can become entrapped, entangled into a legal quagmire. Be careful, I beg you. So folks, happy Thursday to you. Peace and love, and you hold the spot you've got. Class FM on this lovely Thursday. Peace and love. Next week, Thursday, God's willing, right here on this station, Class FM Radio, for another Thursday program.
My young man, I am singing this song as a contribution. Anguilla is our home. Yeah, it's like diamonds and gold. Mayumba Theater, awesome legends around. This is a short island anthem, should be played throughout the year. We sing and dance the Caribbean song, we try to keep the culture strong. The Moyomba folkloric is a household name. Culture's a campaign, that's a claim to fame. So come dance with me and join the refrain. So let us wave the Anguilla flag. We're so proud that we can brag of clear blue waters and dazzling white beaches. Ocean full of fishes, awesome drinks and dishes. So get up and big up our sweet island. Ooh. It's a decent tribute to the Moyumba family. We are all Anguillians, yeah. So let's learn the culture and dance. From West End to Island Harbor, we sing and dance with each other. From the youths to the elders, yeah. Like one big family, we sing and dance the Caribbean song. We try to keep the culture strong. The Moyomba folkloric is a household name. Culture's a campaign, that's a claim to fame. So come dance with me and join the refrain. So let us wave the Anguilla flag. We're so proud that we can brag of clear blue waters and dazzling white beaches. Ocean full of fishes, awesome drinks and dishes. So get up and big up our sweet island. Ooh. La da da da. La da 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 da. Oh Lord. We gon' all join as one for this celebration. Our necessities is, yeah, peace, love, and unity. So bring out your flags, now show me your hands, while we join in the refrain of adaptability. We sing and dance the Caribbean song. We try to keep the culture strong. The Moyomba folkloric is a household name. Culture's a campaign, that's a claim to fame. So come dance with me and join the refrain. So let us wave the Anguilla flag. We're so proud that we can brag of clear blue waters and dazzling white beaches. Ocean full of fishes, awesome drinks and dishes. So get up and big up our sweet island. Ooh. My Anguilla song.